give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Fucking Mario Kart start to that, mind.
Yeah.
That's good.
May have to restart, right? Because that totally threw me.
No, it's fucking... Oh, you have got it out. Leave it in. Leave it in.
That's our new...
Sorry, for everyone listening, I just watched the audio thing and it had a proper like Mario Kart, like 3, 2... I was getting ready to press A at exactly the right time to get a boost just before the light goes green.
Yeah, that threw us a little bit. We're experimenting with new tech.
New
New
tech.
tech. So, yeah. Anywho. We digress. We haven't even said hello. Welcome. Episode 24. Fuel My Fire podcast. Bristol Metal Quarter. Bristol is the place to be, as we say often. Not often enough. Yes. Obviously, I'm
Bristol.
here. I'm...
Good old
exciting
Griffin.
news. New notebook for those that can see.
Ooh.
Page 1. Book
Page
2.0.
Tom is very
Wait,
happy
what
about
number
his
is this
new
again?
notebook.
24.
24.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, really?
Yeah.
We're getting up there, aren't we?
Been nearly going for a year.
Have we?
Nearly. It was July-ish last year, I think we started.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now,
Wow.
yeah. No, look at us now.
Look at us now! Look at us now!
And you'll never guess where we are, because for obvious reasons.
Where are we, Tom?
It's only the best bar in Bristol, which, you know.
Oh, what bar would that be, Tom?
Let me think. It sounds like Biffin.
Biffin.
What could it be? Sorry, I came to struggling with words. Griffin, obviously. Best bar in Bristol.
Woo!
Currently a little busy today because Pentagram cancelled, because they got too wrecked apparently.
Yeah. So, and we only just found out from Jan that Pentagram of that, I'm sure many of you who are listening or watching or whatever, but there was that meme that was going around of that really crazy old rocker looking guy with his starey eyes, like with hair flying out, and it got used in a bunch of memes. That's the band.
That is the band, yeah.
That is kind of surprising because look up that image and it'll make a lot of sense.
That's so funny that they cancelled for getting too wrecked.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Where did they play last night, or they didn't play and they just got
It's
wrecked?
supposed to be today.
Where did they play last night? Do you know?
Oh, last night. Oh, sorry. Not play.
Probably London, maybe.
That London?
That London.
We've a few
got
stories about London.
We've got a
We
London
do.
tour
We have a
coming up.
London
Yeah,
talk.
I know.
We're expanding on our horizon. We're going to London now. Like posh twats that we are. I was going to say, whoa. Yes, you've got Paulaner, which is a very standard beer. The other standard beer for people that like their... This is going to hurt me to say it, but if you go into the Griffin and ask for Guinness, boo earns, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. There is loads of really good imperial stouts that'll knock you in your arse.
Yeah.
However, John, in his infinite wisdom, has decided to put Bristol Beer Factory's Nitro Stout on, which is a close comparison to Guinness.
Yeah, because it's not too strong, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem is John loves his stouts, but then they're all like 7, 10, 12, 13, so yeah, and you drink 2 pints of it and then you're just like...
You're staring at the ceiling going, who am I? What happened to that guy's head?
Yeah.
No, they're very tasty, don't get me wrong. But this
and
one's
for
good.
a poor person like me, who has IBS, like I can enjoy a few Guinness, it's not too bad, but with some of those really heavy stouts, my stomach instantly feels like I've eaten 3 loaves of bread. And it's like, what are you doing? What's going on? We're not happy about this.
But it is actually nice. It passes the Irish test. It's not quite Guinness, but it's as close as you can get.
Passes the Irish
Yeah.
test.
Wow.
Yeah, we invented stout. I'm going to say we did.
That's true.
Someone fact check me. Whoever wants to fact check me.
No,
It's fine.
fact check him. That's cool. So you got that. So what's it called again?
I think it's just called Nitro Stout.
Nitro Stout. I've seen it in other bars, obviously, but that's cool. So that's just like a regular thing now.
Yeah,
so when
it's become
people
one of the
so when
constant
people ask
lines.
for the Guinness, that's now the...
It happened downstairs, actually. So a random person came in, and he's like, I'll have a pint of Guinness. And Finn was just like, we have this instead. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll have that.
There you go.
Yeah, so it works.
People just need those equivalents sometimes. You know, they really just need those simple equivalents.
I think if you've got multiple lines that keep changing, but you have a few select ones to bring in the normal
you
people,
need to
that
have
probably...
you need to have some things that just like, look, people are always going to ask for Guinness.
Yeah.
It's just like, people are always going to ask for a cider or what lager. Like,
Yep.
They just are, aren't they? You know, that's just
Yeah, I agree.
simple pub things. Yeah.
And in fact, you've got the other regular line, Paulaner.
Well, yeah, Paulaner is the regular lager, so yeah, it's all good.
That's good too.
Yeah, it's solid.
So a few things I wanted to start with before we get into
So I'll try
any
not
of
to
the...
burp into the microphone.
Yeah, don't do that.
Have you eaten garlic today by any chance?
had a
Vampires
plantain
beware.
wrap.
A what
earlier.
wrap?
A fried plantain wrap from Biblos.
Okay.
Yeah, vegan one.
I've never had plantain.
It's nice.
Oh,
It's like a
plantain's
banana.
fucking lovely, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, you fry it and shit. It's really nice. Yeah. My breath probably smells a little bit rappy.
Yeah, a little bit. I can smell the burgers. Is what I'm trying to say. Ah!
It's alright, it'll smell of stale beer in a bit. It'll be fine.
Which is
I
better.
like it.
And iced pineapple vape. So we all know the perfect sexy combination for your breath.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Jane will have to tell us later.
Yay!
Anyway.
Back to other topics. Firstly, I'm going to apologise because I forgot to do the playlist on YouTube for last episode. That will be up before this one comes out, so
Nice.
it'll be back. So don't worry.
Why are you apologising then, Tommy? They wouldn't have known.
Some people have actually said.
Have
it to
they
me.
messaged
Yeah.
you? Really? Oh!
So I was like, oh shit,
Wow,
sorry.
you're
my
actually
bad.
in trouble now.
I know. So yes, that will go up as well, the one for this one, and also I think a proper shout out to Giles from Barry Muna, our first, let's say, I don't know how to put it, our greatest fan.
My greatest
Our
fan.
greatest
I
fan.
guess what would you call it? A subscriber?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we really appreciate it.
We really
and
do, yeah. It's very nice.
It's absolutely excellent of you.
For
Thank
those
you very
of you
much.
who don't know, we now have a new link to, like, if you want to, it's basically like a buy us a coffee link. So if you want to donate even just a little bit of money to buy us, well, to keep us in Nitro Stout and Paulana mostly, to be brutally honest with you, we definitely wouldn't spend it on alcohol.
No, we're upgrading all our stuff. As you can see, we've added video, and we're
yeah.
going to add better mics and help the sound.
Well,
and-
next, I mean, it might even be soon.
It will,
We might
yeah.
be doing, whole thing. But yeah, so it's just there. If you fancy just like, you fancy just buying us a coffee or buying us a beer or just throwing us a little bit of change if you got it, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Giles has said, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It means an awful lot to us. What else should we do? Right, so let's go back into normal shenanigans, I suppose.
Whoop, whoop.
What have you been listening to?
What have I been listening to? Have I been listening to anything new specifically?
Doesn't always have to be new. It could just
No,
be.
yeah, well, I don't mean like new as in the band's new or the music's new. I just mean like it's something gone into rotation recently that I've been listening to. I've been going back to Gallows.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
What's
Obviously
inspired
Frank era Gallows, not that last album that they did. I don't know. I've always loved them. I mean, I was massive into them. I remember I saw Gallows supported by Cancer Bats and the Ghost of 1000 at the Carlston 2. It's before it was the O2 Academy.
Right.
The Carlston upstairs, the Carlston Academy 2, which was like the little upstairs venue they had.
Was that when it was an ice rink or that
2000
before that?
No. So that's it got from an ice rink it got turned into the
Right.
Carlston Academy.
I miss the ice rink.
It's much better than O2.
Fucking O2. Fuck the O2. I want the ice rink back.
The ice rink, especially in this weather,
Yeah.
the ice rink could be fucking nice. It's warm.
You might see the sweat coming off
Yeah,
us.
a little bit. Where if we look a little bit sweaty today, guys, we're very sorry.
It's like 47 million degrees outside.
Yeah.
Plus one in here.
Yeah, we're in literally a sealed room with one fan, so it's good. But yeah, I went back to them. I was
What
a massive
inspired you
fan
to
of
go back to
them.
them?
I don't know.
What give it
I
each?
go back to them. They've always been one of my favourite bands. I mean, it's like when we do the favourite band talk. Like I always suddenly remember that there's like a band that I go back to all the time, and Gallows is one of them. Like Orchestra of Wolves in Great Britain, just brilliant. And I was accused from like 2007 on like until they broke up in 2010, 2012. I can't remember what it was, but that era of like.
They kind of
I guess,
defined the whole
like,
initial hardcore, didn't they? The new hardcore.
The new wave of UK hardcore, definitely. Them and Ghost of 1000, obviously other bands that I'm not mentioning. But that kind of, and because obviously Gallows got so kind of mainstream, for lack of a better word, as well. But yeah, those first two albums are great. Orchestra of Wolves in Great Britain.
Are
I'll
the
go back
members doing anything now?
I mean, Frank obviously did Frank Hart and the Rattlesnakes, where he did Pure
Right.
Love before that, and now he's the new lead singer for the Sex Pistols.
Oh, right.
So now they're touring at the moment.
That's
so
quite
they've
an
got
upgrade.
him. Yeah, I know. They've got him on vocals. So he's put the Rattlesnakes on hold. The rest of them, I think, funny enough, Lags, who is the guitarist or one of the guitarists,
Yep.
he was always like the pretty boy one back in the day. And it's so funny. He actually, to be fair to him, he's like obviously got a really good sense of humour because I follow him on Instagram, and he did this post which is like him back in his Gallows heyday with his skinny jeans and his amazing hair, and you know, looking all handsome and pretty, and then it's him now, and he's like balding, and he's got the beer belly, and he's like, this is what I'm doing now, I'm 43. It's like, do you know what I mean? And it was just like, you know, so fair shout to him. He's definitely got a sense of humour about it. But I don't think they're really doing, I mean, a few of them did a few other musical bits, but I don't think any of them, a lot of them went into, I know Frank's brother went into producing. I think he might still be a producer.
Yeah, right.
He went into producing, so. Yeah, that's. I think I'd say that's probably the newer thing that's ended up kind of me picking back up again.
Cool.
What about you?
I have had the new Shadow of Intent stuff. Their new stuff is. They're going to be one of the bands we've been talking about in many years to come. I think this is the album that's going to launch them into
put them on the map. Yeah.
You know, I was aware of him before, but I was never really. I could never have mentioned the song by him, whereas now I think this new stuff is going to definitely propel him up a bit. And Lorna Shore dropped another song, Unbreakable.
Oh, did they?
Absolutely kick ass. It is. I'm looking forward to that album. The last album was good, and the two they've released so far.
It's good. It's like I listened to a bit of that song. To be fair, like I've always liked Lorna Shore, but I don't know why, for whatever reason, I don't fully connect with it. If that makes sense, like. Yeah, I mean, like they're a band that I'd love to see live, and I think I'd probably enjoy a lot more.
I have seen
like
them
if
live,
you showed
actually.
me,
Yeah.
I haven't ever seen them live, you see, but I've heard they're very good live as well.
Will Ramas can do some
he
crazy
can do amazing.
shit
He's
with
an
his
amazing
voice,
vocalist. Oh, he's an amazing vocalist.
and he can do it live as well. Like there's nothing over the top. It's just raw emotion and training your vocal cords to do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I did come across a new band though.
Okay.
Called Bloodmoors.
Bloodmoors, eh?
They're a UK-based melodic death kind of trash. They're kind of crossover between the two. Just randomly came up one playlist. I was like, oh, that's another one.
Nice.
You know, 59 followers, and now they have 60. You know, that kind of way. So yeah, check them out. They're pretty cool. Jen, how about you? Had anything fun on?
Nothing overly new. I feel like I've probably gone back to my old faithful Morbid Angel.
Oh yeah.
As always, a classic. Can't go wrong with that.
What inspired you to go back to that? Was there any?
I'll go to my
particular?
record player. I think, which one of you bad boys shall I put on
And
today?
then you put Morbid Angel on.
And as always, I put Morbid Angel on. They take our road.
Fair.
Yeah.
Which album? Or all of them?
Oh, I don't know. The one with the faces on it. I never know the names of an album. The one with the melty looking faces.
David, help us out.
You know the one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a metal album with melting faces on it.
We love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's iconic, honestly. If you say the Morbid Angel album with the melty faces on, most people are going to know.
Should do.
Apart from you guys. Any other Morbid Angel fan will be like, yeah.
Totally know what you mean, yeah.
I promise you they do.
Oh yeah. Anyway, all our Morbid Angel fans out there, yeah, tell us what the album is. Save us having to Google it.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about our venture to London?
Oh yeah, gigs,
London.
gig reviews. London. Not London. Sorry, I'm doing that.
Cry with FOMO.
I'm doing the.
here.
What, you could have come.
You could have, to be fair.
With a very last minute, it was all shambles, okay? It was a big old shambles.
Funny you
with the
mentioned
tickets.
shambles. Stavik was upset that we forgot about Stavik. He could have come.
Hindsight is the worst superpower.
2020, yeah, I know.
But there was a shambles with the tickets going on, and I had clients booked in.
Yeah.
And I was editing the other podcast.
Okay, we'll allow it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Working for you.
So yeah, so gig, yeah. So wait,
So it was Party Cannon and Dethklok.
yes, it was. Yeah, so London, London.
O2 Shepherd's Bush.
O2 Shepherd's Bush. So yeah, it was good. You rented a really nice place, which was nice. That was cool. Like we showed up. It was I'd forgotten that it was Midsummer Night's Eve.
It was what?
It was Midsummer.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's the summer solstice.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. That's the night that they were on, which is kind of like Dethklok, kind of central, I think.
Yeah.
Because they like to, do a lot of that stuff. Obviously, for any viewers that have no idea, we keep on just saying a name of a band. Dethklok or Clock? Wait, Clock or
Dethklok.
Clock. Yeah.
The cartoon band from Metalocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Is obviously, if you're of a certain age and you used to watch a lot of Adult Swim cartoons, you might have heard of Metalocalypse or watched it. Obviously, Dethklok are the band from that show, which are like very funny.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is them, basically them and the music, like the main guy who does
Brandon
it.
Small.
Yeah, coming and playing the stuff live.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the idea.
But like, if you haven't seen the cartoon, it's basically like the band are the most brutal band on the planet.
Oh yeah, and they affect like the entire planet's GDP when they release music, and it's like basically every episode they'll do a song, and it ends up like
total carnage.
It ends up killing like hundreds of thousands of people whenever they play music.
Like they go to Finland and they basically awaken a cave troll that then takes out the entire lot of Finland.
Yeah, it's almost like death metal gorillas.
Yeah, it's probably a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
I was quite excited because I didn't know what they were going to do, because obviously they're going to have guest musicians on stage.
True.
But then I didn't know, was it going to be like big like screens behind them, if they were like blanking themselves out, whatever. And the way they did it, like...
Yeah, we'll get to that bit. We'll get to that bit in a sec, just because I think we both had similar, maybe somewhat expectations. Maybe weren't quite met by a little bit of that. That's probably like one of the only negatives. But so yeah, got to London, we're fucking roasting. Met up with John, Griffin John, Landlord John, and a few other people. There was a bunch of people there from Bristol, and it was the Shepherd's Bush O2.
Which we had our reservations, because our viewing O2.
We were worried that we were going to have to join a queue an hour and a half early to see Party Cannon, because they might not open the doors before they were going to be on. We wanted to see Party Cannon, obviously Scotland's finest slam band with inflatable beach wear.
Yeah, they don't take themselves seriously in the slightest.
They're hilarious. Yeah, Party Cannon are brilliant. I've been looking forward to seeing them again for a long time.
Also, Party Cannon, shout out to Mr. Will Pearson, drummer, who stepped in for Party Cannon very last minute. And also, congratulations, mate. That is such, honestly, great career move. Well done. So
because Party Cannon's actual drummer was unfortunately ill, and they did 2 gigs in one day.
Yeah,
we bumped into the drummer who played Ghost Fest for them, didn't we, outside, and we chatted to him for a bit. So basically, they got 2 drummers for the day, because they played Ghost Fest in Leeds, and they had to drive literally straight from there down to London to play the Dethklok show, and.
I mean, you definitely would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course you would. I mean, that's what they actually asked Ghost Fest to move their set to earlier because they were like, this is too good an opportunity. So we bumped into the Scottish lad who drummed for them at Ghost Fest.
And the driver.
And we chatted to them for a little bit. But as Jen just said, really cool local drummer from Bristol was actually the drummer for the London show, so that's really cool.
That's very cool. Did a cracking job as well.
Yeah, really good. But I guess we have to. I think we're almost like, it's like we're trying not to do it, Tom. Is we're going to actually have to give credit to an O2 venue.
Yeah.
Which I feel weird doing.
I feel like I'm dying inside.
I know. That's why I keep feeling like we keep on trying to say other stuff.
Yeah.
And not talk about. Everyone's waiting to see what we're going to say about it.
It worked as a venue should work really well.
It worked as a normal venue.
Imagine
we
that.
We joined the queue. We got to sit at the bar and have a bunch of drinks with friends and have a good time before, and not join the queue an hour and a half early.
They had multiple security going through the crowd and kind of going, come up this way, another queue.
If you've got the priority tickets, which then made the queues go faster because they were actually actively trying to get the priority people through quicker, and then suddenly they opened up a third queue for normal people.
And just said, you come up here. It was really good. It was really well done.
It's got us in. Minimal searching. Straight up. Go this way, go that way.
It's a cool venue
Gods
too.
are that way. I mean, it's a play theatre, really, isn't it?
It's an old school theatre, isn't it?
It's an old school, which is going to come into play when we talk about how fucking hot it there it was.
Do you think this was an anomaly, or do you think maybe they've had enough complaints about how they're being
I think it's that venue.
Yeah.
I think that venue works differently because I think it might be a case of, like, if you go to a McDonald's, and one McDonald's will be really shit and all your food's cold and awful.
And 15 members of staff there looking at you.
Yeah, and then another McDonald's you go to is really cool and the food's good and like.
Kind of like McDonald's now.
They kind of. I mean, I don't want to give too much credit to like managers and stuff, but you know what I mean. Maybe it's just the way that one's run is better. But also the other thing I thought was maybe that one does a lot more like plays and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it doesn't.
I assume it's a working theatre as well.
Yeah, I mean, surely it must be because it's just a theatre, isn't it?
It's set up for it, but
I mean, it reminded me of the Beacon but smaller. You know, so.
So we were seated for it as well.
So I mean, we're upstairs we're up in the gods, which
was
now
good thing,
talk about the
actually.
heat. Well, was it?
Yeah. It would have been way hotter down there.
What are you talking about? Heat rises.
Yeah.
Oh, I got hot. Oh, the mosh pit started. Oh, I got hot. I had to go take a walk. Go take a little walk. Go stand at the back. Fucking fanning myself. I was dripping. I was.
Yeah, we have a funny picture when we came out afterwards of
God, I was sweating.
how wrecked we were.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then of course like, you're drinking loads of alcohol on top. We'd already drunk a bunch. They drank even more when we were there. And I was just
Wouldn't be like us.
No, I was like that. He just got oppressive. But yeah,
big shout out to Philip next to us as well.
Oh God, what is it with you and making friends with like super autistic dudes that we end up like having to cart around?
He was there by himself.
Hang on, can I just call you out on this a second? I've met your friend group.
Okay. What about what are you saying?
That's all I'm going to leave it as.
Oh, okay, it's like that, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, just because a lot of them playing Warhammer, Jonas, they need to be judgmental though. Yeah, we had that. Once. When I was helping, this is fucking, I might have even been last year. I was helping John out behind the bar one time because occasionally I'd go like work a little Saturday shift. Basically, I had to drink for free.
Was that Shelley's birthday where I've got a photo of the back of your head?
No, this is another time. And it was a bit earlier.
What a flutter that is.
No, it is because we hadn't met before. Yeah. And then I was showing Matteo a photo of Shelley's birthday.
Yeah, she was behind the bar.
And
I was like, can you not see who that is, like looking at the till? And Jen was like, who is that? And I was like, look at the hair.
Have you heard of the invisible string theory?
No.
It's where you're like going to meet people later on, but they pop up in random.
Oh, you've already compassed them.
Yeah. But anyway, and this woman comes in. So me and John are behind the bars a bit earlier. This woman comes in to the Griffin and goes, "Oh, I can't remember what name she said, like Dave or something like that. You know, is a guy called Dave come in here? He's got long hair,
tattoos, piercings."
Me and John are just looking at each other, and she kind of sees it, and she goes, "Oh, and he also paints Warhammer." And me and John just look at each other like, "You've just described about 80% of the clientele of this pub. I don't know who you think, you know." And then she went away, and then she came back. I think it was Steve actually, and she came back, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, he's got a speech impediment." And John was like, "Oh, lisping Steve! Oh, yeah, I know." And told her exactly where he was. I was like, yeah, he was here.
We need something that identifies
people. Yeah. Even if it is a speech impediment. But yeah, so Party Cannon were really good.
They were.
They were really fun.
I was pleasantly surprised because I'm normally not into the slam stuff.
No, I like it. They were, they're very, obviously there's a few of them, Raised by Owls, Swarms. It's like that whole thing of like, almost like kind of comedy slam, comedy deathcore.
I mean, one of their songs is called "Partied in Half."
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
It was very, very, very funny.
They did something, I can't remember exactly what it was. They said something about, was it a new song they played? And then they came out on the socials the next day. I was like, "Oh, we're very sorry."
Yeah, we're very sorry. Like, you're like, "Oh God, why are they apologising? One of them's going to get cancelled or something." And then they were like, "We said in the intro to this song that it was about coming on other people when really it's about coming on yourself." Something like that. It was like
it was totally, it was good.
But they were great. A great intro band, especially for a band like Dethklok.
It's worked quite well.
Yeah.
I was a bit on the fence of
No. I mean, I've seen them before, so I was like, that's a really good shout to get Party Cannon on there. And also because all the Party Cannon fans showed up.
Oh yeah.
There was quite a lot of them. And then then the main lot came on stage. And then obviously, like, I think this is maybe the one slight negative maybe we both have is that, because we had talked earlier, that we were kind of maybe hoping for a little bit more of a stage show than what we kind of ended up getting.
Yes and no. What they did was very good.
It was good. It worked. I mean, I think maybe we set our hopes just a bit too high of hoping that it was going to be maybe like a whole,
like a Gorillaz thing.
Well, yeah, like where they had screens in front of them, or maybe some kind of trying to recreate some of what Dethklok do. Maybe some.
They kind of did
a bit. I mean, look, basically, listeners, like what happened was so obviously they played with lights that would like kind of basically blacked out the musicians, and then just played the music videos that you see in the show.
It was some of it was custom as well.
Oh, a bit custom.
It wasn't.
There's some custom stuff, but yeah, like obviously kind of. So your attention was drawn to the
screen,
the back screen,
which I quite liked.
Oh no, I liked it as well. I think it worked. Maybe it's just more me. In my head, I was just kind of. I guess I was hoping for a bit more pageantry.
Yeah.
Because obviously, the whole point of the show, the cartoon, is that it's a very
I know what you mean.
Completely over the top thing whenever they do stuff. So, but at the end, it was still really good.
It was still very in sync, and I was watching the screens rather than the band.
Yeah,
it was quite immersive that way. But I was expecting it to be they just crushed Finland kind of level of...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess once I got inside the venue, I kind of realised it's actually quite a small stage, and obviously it being like a play venue, I was like, well, they definitely can't have any pyrotechnics in here, because that's going to set everything on fire.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's not going to be any of that. There might be
we've drank too much and too flammable.
There was a lot, a bit of smoke machine stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, like it's not like I was expecting them to come out and like fully end up on like a massive church mech that goes around murdering half of continental Europe. But like, I was just kind of maybe expecting a little bit of something more. And that's my one nitpick. They were really good. I mean, they were great band.
They were excellent.
They're awesome. What did you think of this set then?
I mean, the set list was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I woke up next day just going, I ejaculate fire. I don't really, but that's one of the songs.
Check. Vengeance. Check. Saw. Check.
Mermaid. Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
The fact they even played, I love the fact that they started just with the intro song of the show. That's like...
They did the weird thing with the, I thought it was another season or movie coming
Oh, that's the thing. No, is it going to be a movie?
That was just a playlist.
And it's just a playlist. I thought they were going to be releasing a new movie.
I looked up, afterwards I got home, just Metalocalypse just to see what was
what is
available.
Like Rise of the Doomstar. Because obviously they had some custom bits.
It is a movie, but it's already out.
Oh, it's already out.
There's a Dethklok movie called that.
Yeah, but a bunch of it because lore-wise, sorry for listeners, it's a bunch of those adult film shows at that time were all like big cult classics, not just Metalocalypse. And then because it was actually like a CEO guy who came in and took over the Cartoon Network thing, and they got sold off and everything, and basically a bunch of them got cancelled. So like that, I was a massive. I used to watch loads of Adult Swim stuff, not just them. So like Venture Bros, loads of that kind of stuff just got cancelled.
Yeah.
And so it's actually funny that Venture Bros did the same thing. It was like last year they released a film, because basically it's just all these kind of cult cartoons trying to release movies to, finish off the stories of what the things were. So I have to watch that then.
It's all right. It's basically Nathan. What's his name? Nathan what?
Oh fuck yeah.
The lead singer. He basically has a mental breakdown and kind of goes, you know what? There's more to me than singing in the best band ever. And he just has a total mental breakdown. And this one girl that kissed him one of the episodes, he proposes to her in front of his metal church, and she says no because she's only seen him once basically. And then he totally falls apart. But then they have to write the best song ever to stop the end of the world basically happening.
Tenacious D storyline.
Oh. In essence, yeah. In essence. Overall, it was excellent.
You know what's sad now is that going forward, Jack Black isn't going to be known for that. He's going to be known for singing Chicken Jockey in the new fucking Minecraft
Right,
movie.
can you shut up because you won't watch the Minecraft movie with me, no matter how much I say let's go and watch the...
I won't watch it with you. I won't.
Why? What's happened to the Minecraft world?
Movie. That's what I don't want.
Because Mateo has no sense of humour and can't just
No
enjoy
sense of
things
humour?
for what they are.
I'm sorry. I don't find Minecraft funny.
I don't find you funny.
So in this episode of dealing with relationships. Anyway, moving quickly on. I think the next one I was at was the one all three of us at, unless we were all at a different one.
We were, weren't we? Yeah, here in the Griffin itself.
It was, which was Acid Vat, Spawn from Hate and Peakhead.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that was you haven't been at anything since then? That was only a few days after Dethklok anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, what was it? Was it last week?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was last week. Last Friday, yeah.
So it was nearly a week after Dethklok.
Yeah.
Jen, Acid Vat. Let's start with you. What do you think?
Oh, I really enjoyed them so much. I bought a t-shirt, put it that way.
Yeah, good. Always a good sign.
Proper death metal.
Yep, old school death metal.
Old school death metal, right up my street. I had a wonderful time.
I had a funny one with him because I parked up just down below the beacon. And as I was coming up the street, I was like, oh, so I'm a little bit late then. Like, you could hear them absolutely rumbling every building the whole way down to the Cold Snall beacon.
Don't say that. Don't say that. John has been trying to beat the sound pollution allegations for years. So
that one was particularly loud, but it was good. I really liked them. They were old school death, but they kind of had a groove element to them.
Definitely, yeah.
Which really helped, I think. It was really... You couldn't help but headbang to it. Like, you just wanted to move.
It was great, yeah.
They were really, really good.
Like what Jen said, just like proper old school, like death metal stuff. It's just fucking awesome. I really like them too.
Yeah, it was an instant follow for me. And, such cool merch as well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's merch was cool. I mean, Jen very kindly bought me some Pighead, because they had like, kind of like, I guess what you call them, like board shorts. like skater shorts.
Yeah.
With like their logo. I love it when bands actually have like different kinds of things that aren't just.
Yeah.
The t-shirts were all amazing. They all had amazing designs, but like I love it when bands like sell.
Especially it's 40 degrees outside, and you're like, ooh, shorts, yes.
Yeah.
To be fair, everybody that night had really good merch.
They did, yeah.
Like I feel like there's been a lot of times where there's a band that I really like the band, but then I'm just.
And then their merch is just a letdown. I know it's the worst.
And you end up buying a patch or something just to say, yes, I'll give you money.
Yeah, but I wouldn't wear that t-shirt. Yeah, you're just like the moral of the story is, guys, just put effort. Like you need to just get some cool fucking stuff for your merch.
Like,
Don't
just stick to t-shirts.
Don't just Go for some different stuff. Go for some different cuts. Get some shorts. Get some vests. Whatever.
Shorts is a good idea.
About a year ago, we went to see, what was that hardcore band we went to see?
Speed.
No.
Anyway, we saw a band and they had like cute little crop top.
Oh,
do you remember?
fuck, who was that? Yeah,
that was an exchange, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was at the exchange.
Yeah.
Yes. It's going to really bother me what they were called now. I feel like
in the episode, you're going to be like, got it!
Yeah.
And we've done recording.
Leave it for now, and then if Jen suddenly shouts out a name of a band randomly when we're talking about something else,
oh,
then we know.
Spy!
There we go. Hey, there you go, you did it.
Yeah.
It was Spy. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, no, really enjoyed it. Really good gig. You know, like the whole thing. I thought all the bands were amazing. I thought Pighead were great, even with the fact that they were missing their drummer.
Yeah, he popped his eardrum 2 days before.
Popped his eardrum. Is that what happened?
Oh,
Fuck
yeah,
that's what the singer said.
Yeah.
And he kind of said, kind of funny that the drummer popped.
Yeah.
To be fair to, I was going to come on to Pighead afterwards, but
sorry,
to be fair to him, to do the set list that they did with 2 days' notice without a drummer, having re-recorded all his stuff, is insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of no drummers, Spawn from Hate, that was their go-to thing.
They were kind of more like I know, obviously they're still very dead, but they had a more of the grindy element.
They did,
which I liked as well. Which is that like, we don't give a fuck. There's just 3 of us here and we have a drum machine, which I do appreciate.
I do and I don't. It really bugs me if you deliberately don't have a drummer.
I mean, I understand. Maybe I just got more used to it because the grind scene was absolutely full of like. I've watched a lot of one man grind and porn grind outfits over the years. Just one guy with a guitar and like a drum machine and a bunch of other stuff.
I think it depends. I mean, I remember at some point with Cybervoid we were just going to do drum machine because this.
We just get lost. I mean, it's just trying to find one. Like, trying to find a drummer is like gold dust sometimes, especially, and obviously one that can do blast beats well.
Yeah.
And, like actually play death metal in a decent way. Like it can just be an absolute nightmare to find.
I see that sentiment, but it's, I don't know. For me, it's just it takes away from the whole experience when there's no drummer there. And
I mean, I mean, for me, I enjoyed them. I mean, they
were a bit of an odd mix for me because firstly, no drummer. Secondly, the bass was playing a headless bass. He was playing with his finger,
wasn't he? Yeah.
And he didn't stop staring at his bass for the whole time. I was like, you need to move a little bit.
Yeah.
Then the singer definitely looked like he came out of a grind band, absolutely like stomping around kind of thing. And the guitar player looked like he'd come from Sunday lunch with his kids. And it was a bit an odd mix.
Right. See, for me, everything you're saying is like, because like fucking one of the bands I've been in, it used to be like that. Fucking Lawrence, he used to show up. And he'd be like wearing a fucking like blue shirt because he like works security at some thing. He'd just show up to so then we have our guitarist in this grind band just there in his like tucked in blue shirt. He forgets to take his lanyard off sometimes, you know what I mean? So I'm just there, like everything you're saying, I'm just like, that's
normal.
That's a grind band, I'm used to that, that's fine. No, I get it. I understand what you're saying though, Tom. I do.
They didn't look together because they were all different musicians.
I understand the kind of keys. But I like their music. I thought they were good. They were a lot of fun.
I thought the vocalist was insane.
He was great.
What he could do was really, really good.
Yeah.
I personally thought they were trying to play too quick. If they'd slowed it down just a little bit, I think it'd have been far better.
Maybe nerves, like we've talked about before on the show. Like maybe it's just sometimes you get a bit nervous at a gig. And everyone speeds up a little bit. I mean that's the other problem with having a drum machine is there's no give there. The
and
drum
it showed.
machine is always going to play at this one speed, and it's never going to like try to match any of the other musicians, which means that the musicians always have to play exactly to how the drum machine plays.
And I spotted that with the bass player a few times because he was trying to play so quick with his fingers. Now what he was playing was pretty quick, but he used to drift ever so slightly out of time, and then you could see him trying to figure out where to correct it.
What do you think, Jen? Do you know something like that?
I can't say I noticed it, but that was towards the end of the night, so I probably had a few beers at that
It's the
point.
second band on, Jen.
Oh, was it?
God, we can't take you anywhere.
You can't keep saying, I just don't remember any of that.
Honestly, I think I do have the memory of a sieve. I know I had a good night.
And that's why everyone listens. 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
I think they were good. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway. Theo, any other thoughts on them?
No,
you liked them.
Yeah, I mean, and then Pighead came on. They were fucking brilliant.
So Pighead being the...
They were Germany. From Germany.
I got that
American.
wrong.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Are they from Germany?
Yeah.
Did you hear his accent when he was talking?
Yeah, no,
And the fact
that
that
to him because I bought some shorts of him. Also, can I just say, all the bands were so lovely. Everyone
Oh,
got
really
the
nice.
What a bunch of lovely people on that night.
Yeah, I do agree.
But that's the classic death metal thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You like play like.
Hi.
Guten Tag. It's really lovely to be here. We're all so happy.
I love that the singer, like, perfect English as well. Like, he turned around and go, this song is called... I don't know.
Oh, that was so funny.
Shitting out through your head with whatever.
No,
and then the next time was like in the proper gutturals.
Yeah.
It's like, this song's called...
And everyone started cheering him for doing it, because that's what you want at the show, you know, is you don't want to hear, like, this next song's called...
And then it was just a pause before they stopped and went, yes!
We love
Amazing.
This, we love this one. We love...
I thought it was really cool that they did, they kind of slowed down the brutal death. They obviously had stages that would melt your face, but it got to the stage where it was just a guitar doing this real chunky riff, and then everything kicks back in. It was really, really well done. Bass player didn't stop whirlwinding the entire time he was playing.
Yeah, it was great.
Considering he was playing uber quick as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was quite impressive.
It was really good. I mean, I basically just want to say that the whole show, it was a really good underground death metal show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it was just a really, really, really good underground death metal show. Like, that's to me is what underground metal is all about. That
well done,
shows
John.
like
that was
it
a great show.
Really, really, really good gig. I really thought you should definitely check out those bands. If they're playing anywhere near you, definitely go and watch them because they're really good.
Pighead also got the one more tune, and they
They
literally
did,
like
and they did.
we have no more songs. Like, that was literally it.
Yeah, and they just jumped back in and just played one of the other ones again. Fair shout to them.
Yeah, that was cool. And then, like, at the end of that, they're kind of looking at everyone like,
So
we can do it again.
And then I think by that point, the lead singer, like, is so funny. He's a massive guy, and you just saw him. He was struggling.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was sweating.
It's like someone threw a bucket of water over
he
him.
was sweating. He was.
I mean, we all were, to be fair.
Yeah,
it
it
was
fucking hot.
hotter than normal up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, having that good weather. But yeah, great gig. Really enjoyed it.
So one of the things. Oh, this is gonna look weird.
Sorry.
Kirby. Anyway.
Anywho, one of the other things I want to say about the Pighead gig was I've got far more appreciation for the kind of extreme, brutal death live. Listening to recorded, it doesn't have the same...
We'll make you a piss grey fan yet, son.
I'm slowly changing.
Let's see him live. Let's see him live.
I mean, yeah, because I've listened to some of the stuff after, and it was like, it just didn't catch me the same. I was a bit disappointed in the recorded version. I know that's normally the same in metal, but...
And once again, because it's like DIY bands who aren't massive, they can't afford big recording, which means that the recordings are always a bit rougher around the edges and stuff, isn't it? But I know what you mean, like... But that's why we talk about what we talk about, isn't it?
Support local.
Live, support local, go to see the bands.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess we're going to have to talk about some Spotify stuff maybe a bit later, but like, you know, fucking Jesus Christ, like, you know, yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
On the Spotify thing with Pighead, it was a nice picture of the Gin Talk, actually. So just before, as they started playing, I was like, well, that's a follow and a like from me right there.
Yeah.
And she caught me doing this. I was like, yeah, nice.
Awesome.
Yes, you guys been to any other gigs?
No, I think that's been it for me.
No,
just the
I
two.
don't think so.
Last one for me was Iron Maiden on last Saturday.
How was that?
I mean, it was excellent.
Master.
I'm sorry, who sings Master of Puppets?
Iron Maiden, right? Trying to wind him up.
Oh dear, I'd have had to get rid of you. That's just...
They do that Schools Out for the Summer song, don't they?
So Tom.
So, yes. Iron Maiden.
I remember now. This is the painkiller.
Can you hear something?
No, not at all. No, it's just, yeah. There seems to be a ghost here drinking beer somehow. Iron Maiden, right? Fine. I'm going to eventually
Iron
find
Maiden.
one.
On to the
Hey! Welcome back.
Yeah.
You've reappeared, like a magical beer has appeared in front of me. Anywho, they were playing in the West Ham United Stadium, which is the Olympic Stadium.
They do gigs there sometimes, don't they?
It's actually a very good gig venue because the Olympic Stadium obviously has the field in the middle of it,
right?
And it's got the big track around the outside,
so
they can cover all that.
It's funny because the only football stadium in London I hear about obviously is the Tottenham Hotspur one because that's like the really super fancy mega one that like Beyonce plays and shit. And
yeah.
So, yeah. What's the West Ham one like then?
It was a cool setup. It was a really cool setup. You walk in kind of like normal stadium, the multiple gates, multiple entries, so it made the crowd getting in quite easy.
That's good.
They had a lot of merch, bars, Brewdog were there surprisingly. All food trucks and everything outside it, so you know the whole way around the ring of it, so you could basically walk up that and you wanted, which is pretty good. And then because the actual standing area is so big, I don't get why people go to a gig and they come straight up the middle and stand like as soon as they get 10 people in at the middle. Makes no sense. If you want to be anywhere closer, you just go up either side and come in.
Yeah, I know, yeah, it's weird.
I don't
And also,
understand.
like, people try and do the standing thing, it's like, you know where the mosh pit's going to open.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know where, like, you're trying to pretend that you can, like, just stand there and you're going to enjoy the show. Yeah, exactly. It's like, no.
Did Iron Maiden have a mosh pit?
Not so much. Not so much.
Zimmer frame mosh pit.
One of the nice things about the Maiden crowd, so there was 75,000 people at it, and we were relatively close. Like you could see Baton, you could see him quite well on stage, but we still had perfect room all around us. Like we had to do this and not spill drinks. Actually, I did spill a drink because I went to the bar and they gave me the fucking cardboard holder. As soon as I turned around,
like a coffee holder.
That would have been better, but it's like the 4 cards.
Yeah,
cardboard.
the four, like a coffee. Yeah. So you put 4 pints in it and you carry it like a tray.
Yeah, but from the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not one with handles.
Yeah, they're too fancy.
So I turned around, someone spilt a little bit out of one of them, and it just dissolved it. Next minute, the pints were going through the middle. And people just looking going on. Do you want a hand? I was like, yeah, but I now need to like somehow get this into the crowd.
Now I've got to carry 4 paper cups.
So I ended up necking mine, picking up half of another tray, and then holding another pint. I was like, this is just. Pint-wise, it was actually cheaper in there than it was in rest of London, which I was kind of surprised at.
West Ham know how to have a good time.
It was $6.50 or $7.50.
That's not bad. I mean, that's standard price. Unfortunately, nowadays with this economy, that's like standard pricing, isn't it? So.
Isn't Steve Harris a massive West Ham
He is,
fan?
That's one of the reasons that they play
there. Is it? Yeah, I didn't know that. That's fucking funny.
So they've got like Iron Maiden, West Ham jerseys.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, to start it, because it's basically a home away from home from them, it was a homecoming in the sense of 4 of the members grew up around there.
Yeah.
So before they came out on the stage, they did the UFO song they normally do. But then they had this huge backdrop, but it was like a 3D animated thing. And they basically went through like the streets of London as if you were Jack the Ripper kind of time. And every so often you just see Eddie cropping up in the corners.
Oh, that's cool.
But they picked up all the bars that were basically outside the stadium where they started, as in these were the places where they first played. So they'd literally walk down the street and it would stop and it would just show the bar and like the crowd just went ballistic.
That's cool, I like that.
That was a real personal touch from it. It was really, really cool. It's the biggest UK venue they've played outside of any festival.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's really surprising.
So they had 75,000 there.
That's really surprising, though. You'd think that they played bigger places than that, like the O2 or like the big
UK
O2.
as well.
UK, I guess. Yeah. It'd be one of those ones where like they go and play like fucking Germany, and it's like 125,000 people at some like fucking stadium or something. Yeah.
But I mean, it was exceptional. So I should probably start with the supports, who we completely missed.
Oh yes.
Who are they? Hailstorm was one of them. Oh, the Raven Age was the other one. Raven Age,
one of them. I've not heard of.
One of them is one of the sons of Iron Maiden. So everyone's like, fuck that.
Wait, not that metalcore band that is.
The Fleur de Lis is the only good song they have. You're thinking
No, I'm thinking about the metalcore band that his son was in.
Yeah.
And then he tried to say, like, we would have been signed to Iron Maiden's record label even if I wasn't his son.
They've disappeared, actually, haven't they?
Yeah, good.
I can't remember the ball.
Because it wasn't that they were bad, they were just mid as fuck.
Yeah.
And just him trying to make excuses in Kerrang magazine about how he wouldn't have been signed to that record
Silver
label.
spoons don't exist.
Mate, it's fine, just be honest. You're Bruce Dickinson's son. It's nepotism. It's like, if you'd just been honest about the nepotism, we would have probably like been a lot more lenient than you trying to fucking make out that somehow this is all fine. Anyway.
Well, yeah, Raven Age is what they're called. They are general softer metalcore kind of band. I've listened to a few of their songs. They've got one good song, which they obviously play at the end.
Hailstorm I really like.
I'm not a fan.
Really? I like them. I thought it was quite fun.
I don't care for them.
No, I'm
fucking alright, guys.
So they're probably one of the biggest sets they've ever played in front of that many people.
Yeah, I was going to say, fucking hell, that's huge for them, yeah.
But yeah, for me, like the sports Iron Maiden, they're never the biggest.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really like it. I like Hailstorm. So yeah, I thought it's good that they managed to play something that big.
We were getting £18 chicken goujons and chips at the time.
£18.
Yeah, the food was tremendously expensive.
Oh, that's where they're making the money up. Then he said about the beer being a bit on the cheaper side. Fucking hell.
£18 each.
Yep. Well, not per goujon, but you've got 3 goujons and a small plate of chips.
Is that it?
Yeah.
What, give us for the video viewers. Give us a
goujon size, both that.
Jesus fuck.
Both that.
How many did you get?
3.
And some chips.
Yeah.
How many chips? Show.
Yeah, 18 quid. So we kind of ate there and went, we'll be eating again later because this is.
Was it at least nice?
No. It was a lose-lose.
Shit.
So, yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway, get back to the main act. Iron Maiden, they only did songs from the first 9 albums, which only brought them up to 1992.
Sorry, the way you just said that. The songs from the first 9 albums.
So it's basically best of, because it was all the stuff that got people into them, you know?
But it's just funny saying that.
You could say it was their golden years.
Funnily enough, they did finish with Wasted Years.
Oh god, is it wasted? God damn it.
But that is the lyric of it, so...
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, yes.
I win.
The joke worked.
It did, it still worked. A different level. So yeah, it was basically a greatest hits of Iron Maiden, because everyone likes everything on the early stuff.
Good.
The first 2 songs, they were a bit off in the sound, it took them a few songs just to get into the
sound
rhythm.
Tech.
Playing a massive stadium, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Then when the lights went down, the show really came to life, because as I said, they had this like backdrop that was like a full 3D animated
That's
thing.
cool.
And they had adjusted for every song, so like when they did Aces High, Eddie was flying around on a Spitfire.
Oh wow.
And, you know, and towards the end... Go on.
Is it bad that I like, you know, we were talking earlier about the Dethklok thing, and like, I know they couldn't have done that, but that's maybe I'd set my sights
the next
a little
level
bit
of
more
theatrics,
like, you know, theatrical kind of up there thing. That's what
it's cool.
Something like that going on. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
And before they did the encore, then they did like this massive Eddie come out through the screen, like full 3D kind of thing. Like it wasn't in 3D, but it looked 3D in the screen.
Right.
And basically started pulling wires.
It's like the Chemical Brothers, but like the metal version. Then, like the Chemical Brothers set is very famous for what they do with their 3D like lasers and videos and stuff like.
It's very cool. It's quite a spectacle.
Yeah.
But me and Maiden do that anyway. So yeah, Eddie comes out and he starts pulling the cables, and as he does, obviously the explosions start going off, and then that kind of brings him towards the end of the set. It was like just completely pull the plug on him.
That's
it was really cool.
That's really cool.
Obviously they've slowed down a bit because they're all in their 70s, so yeah, they're not running around as much as they used to. But they didn't need to. Bruce's voice was insane.
Yeah,
He's got better.
It's
got better.
Well, funny, it's him and fucking Judas Priest guy.
Rob Halford.
Yeah. Like everyone tries to say about them falling off, and like whenever I've heard them, like
they're still
I'm just
really
like,
good.
No, they're not. They're really good. What the fuck are you on about? Like their vocals are still excellent, you know.
Yeah.
Like you listen to some of Priest's newer stuff, you know, they're just like his vocals are brilliant. What are you on about? Like
Yeah, and Bruce still has it. Like he can absolutely,
No, he's always been an amazing vocalist.
So yeah,
Did they play Fear of the Dark?
They did.
Oh, that's probably my favourite.
They did Phantom Rapper as well, which was.
Oh really? Their
well
version.
happy with.
Oh, nice.
That's a fucking kick-ass song, that is.
Kick-ass song.
So nothing of any of the new albums?
Yep. Good. As I said, the album stopped in 1992, so and they closed in Wasted Years.
I'm glad they've learned. I'm good. That, you know,
What year did Dance of the Death come out?
2009-ish.
So no Dance of the Death.
Nope.
Nice.
How many albums do Iron Maiden actually have at this point? Either of you two know?
Not off the top of my head.
No, should we Google it?
Do.
Right, here we go.
Here we go.
Quick Google.
Keep talking
wait,
in the
wait.
background.
Let's make a guess. You guess.
Guess.
You guess.
17.
17 albums. I'm going to guess 19 albums.
I'm going to guess.
Because you've just Googled it.
No, I haven't yet. Hang on, we're still on the.
Yeah. Jen, she hasn't done it.
No cheating allowed here.
Okay, I'm going to guess. Wait, what did you say?
I said 19.
You said
17.
17. I'm going to say 16.
Okay.
Right, are you ready?
Oh, we're miles out, aren't we?
Iron Maiden have released a total of 41 albums.
What?
17 studio albums, 13 live albums, 4 EPs,
What?
and 7 compilation
That's
albums.
mad!
They have also released 47 singles and 20 video albums.
That's insane!
Jesus!
40 albums! 40 albums! albums!
Do you want to know how many albums Buckethead has released?
Oh, no. That man's insane. That man's insane. Don't
he
go near the
genuinely
Buckethead.
is. Like,
oh,
no,
no.
and
He
nuts.
releases an album every 2 months.
Yes.
So that's leave that alone.
How did you meet him?
I went to music uni and he did a masterclass, and it was the fucking weirdest masterclass. So
Was he wearing the bucket?
Wait, no, sorry, it wasn't Buckethead. It was Bumblefoot. They're the same person in my head. Sorry, ignore me. I didn't meet Buckethead. But Bumblefoot was absolutely nuts. He was off his tits. I don't know what
Brilliant.
on.
So it's really funny now because now you said they just played stuff off the first 9 albums of that show.
Yeah.
That literally is like less than a third of
Yeah.
discography.
Fucking crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. Jesus. I was honestly like, I'm not going to say 20. That's way too many.
Way too much.
Insane amount of albums to have.
41 albums. Fucking hell.
Well, in terms of actual albums, though, 17 studio albums. So who guessed 17?
I did.
You did.
You win!
Yeah.
What do I win? Can I have an
Our
Eddie?
respect.
Yeah, that's fair.
Being Iron Maiden's #1 fan.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Only downside of that gig was London decided to... London was busy because Linkin Park were playing Wembley.
Oh, God, yeah. Everything
And
was
Imagine
going
Dragons
on,
were
wasn't
playing
it?
as well.
Oh, fucking Christ.
So obviously don't like Imagine
You need a
Dragons.
sleep token.
In essence, yes.
So I just mugged at the camera then for all of you that are just listening.
So yeah, getting out of London afterwards was a pain in the arse because we had to get back to Paddington and then get to Reading.
Fucking hell.
And it took us 3 hours to get back.
Do you stay in Reading?
I have a friend that lives near Newbury. So we drove back
Well, at
from
least you
Reading.
didn't have to go all the way back, I guess.
Oh man, they kept doing the stupid, we let 200 people through and then they'll stand there with a sign.
Yeah.
Then just goes, they said no go on the sign, so we all just stand there.
That's
and
a
we're like,
lot
there's
of
2
big gigs,
trains
though.
left, we need to get to this fucking station.
Yeah, that's a lot of big gigs though, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Fucking hell, because that Linkin Park one was big.
But then London didn't, normally they're very good with crowd controlling, dispersing
but
large
there's
crowds.
There's only a certain amount of...
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to disperse it. They're going to send the Metropolitan in with their horses just to beat the shit out of everyone. Then they're very good at dispersing large crowds. But no. Yeah, I mean, crazy, getting out of there with, And there was other stuff going on in London as well, I think, that weekend. Like you said, the Imagine Dragons one, so that's all the fucking normies are going to be at that one.
Exactly. And everyone going to the same tube stations,
Yeah.
so,
That reminds me of when my friend who lives in Cardiff was talking about, it was when My Chemical Romance played the same night that Ed Sheeran played. And,
I'd prefer to see Ed Sheeran, to be honest.
And he was just like, wow. That is, you know what? My Chemical Romance, you've grown on me. You've grown on me. And you know what? I have time for My Chemical Romance, and they all seem like very nice guys. And
who are you?
Way very cool. It's I love the fact that he quit. That once the band broke up, he was like, you know what I'm gonna do? Grow a beard, get fat, and draw comics, which is what I always wanted to do, and not be a twink. I never wanted to do that, and I was an alcoholic and a drug addict doing it. And actually, now I'm much happier with my kids. Fair shout to him.
Just please don't ever make music again.
But yeah, like he was saying, like just trying to do anything in Cardiff that day was just absolute insanity, because it was just the whole rugby stadium full of Ed Sheeran fans, and then the other massive stadium full of my elder emos doing
crying outside.
My Chemical Romance. So,
I'm just sad to get a train.
I'm trying to get my father.
No.
Thank you,
No.
To see a marching band.
Thick.
I love it.
No one loves it. They're
Moving on swiftly.
Yes. I think that is all the gigs I've been to. I think all of us have been to. Because that brings us up to last Saturday.
It's alright.
Good. Right. Shall we do what's coming up?
Oh yeah.
We're going to have loads to talk about in the next episode.
Oh God, yeah, I guess really.
There's a lot coming up that we're going to this week, which is no point in talking about for obvious reasons. Yeah. But if we start from the 11th. Which is when this airs, so that gives you time to go get tickets, etc., etc. We're going to have a bit of fun. We're all going to talk about it, so you don't just hear my lovely voice. So I'm going to start on the 11th of July, obviously. I don't know why that was an issue. We have Split Chain doing their album release. So if you don't know them, they're kind of Bristol-based, new metal, post-hardcore shoegaze.
Got them pretty big as well. I like Split Chain a lot.
You actually mentioned them before. That's why.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be interesting to bring them up.
Yeah.
They're kind of. I think they're 200,000 listens, monthly listens.
Yeah, but they've gotten on some really big supports as well, and some really big tours recently.
Have you seen them?
Yes, I have once. I really want to see them again.
Well, 11th of July is
It's
lucky
weird,
day.
but it's like the horse fair.
It's at Route 1, which is the skate shop down in Broadmead. So it's a real intimate gig.
There?
Yeah.
I thought
Is that where it is?
Down.
I thought it freaking... That's mad. That's like no people.
Yeah, for a band.
Oh, so it's like a proper, it's just a proper, we're just doing like a tiny desk concert kind of thing.
So I suspect to be limited tickets.
I imagine that's probably already, it might be sold out by this point.
They missed a trick by not doing Black City or Rough Trade or any of those.
Obviously, they're in with the skate a lot already.
Yeah,
they're
true.
in that hardcore new metal thing, so I'd imagine that kind of makes maybe a bit more sense for them. But yeah, no, I really like Split Chain. Keep an eye out for them because they're really worth seeing. And obviously, like I said, they're getting bigger and bigger, and I'm really happy to see that, especially from a local band. You know,
I was surprised to see they're Bristol based.
Yeah. And they've been doing really well. Been on some big tours and stuff. You know, and hopefully this is. I'm really looking forward to the new album because it's not released yet either. So
that is the release date, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new album. So
I guess they'll be playing the whole album. I mean, even if you can't get a ticket to it, just stand somewhere
stand
near.
outside. Just stand outside in Broadmead and just listen. I guess. Yeah.
Because there's no way you couldn't hear it.
Also, with the way that their crowds kick off, sometimes it'd be interesting if somebody fucking ended up going through the window. You know what I mean? In front of the
police just
skate
come,
shop gets
fuck
put
this,
in, and you just go cool, now I can hear them perfectly well.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to put some caveats on a few gigs because a few of them are officially at Moore and we don't know yet if they're still there or not.
Okay, moved around.
The next one, Theo, do you want this one?
Yeah, that's me.
12th.
So, the 12th of July, we've got Mastiff, who I swear I've heard this name going around.
Yeah?
I don't know it well enough, but I've seen these
times.
guys on gig posters and stuff. So heavy, sludge, grind, Death Fiend, or Death Fiend, sorry.
Fiend.
Yeah, which are Black and Death and Doom, and Indica Blues, which makes sense, I guess, if you're going to be a heavy psych doom band.
Yeah, absolutely. This one took me a while to figure out.
Jesus fucking Christ, Tom. Why have you given the dyslexic person this gig?
No, what it actually says, it took me a while to figure this one out, is two-man doom band. Two-man doom band.
Two-man, but two spelled T-U.
Yeah, so to our listeners, it's T-U-M-A-N-D-U-U-M-B-A-N-D. But when you actually talk it out, what it sounds like, it's two-man doom band.
You're right.
Two-man doom band.
That's really cool, isn't it?
That's really funny.
I quite like it.
Slow Black and Doom, obviously. I mean that would make, and
Necronomicon.
Yep. Yeah, who I've heard of as well. I swear
Bristol
I've seen
based.
their bands. Yeah, I've seen that name on a fair few. Have I seen them?
I feel like
that's a
you
band
might
that
have.
I've seen at a gig. Do you
I
know what I
think you might have seen
mean?
them at
I'm really
Kildare.
sorry to Necronomicon. Maybe it was before we were doing the podcast stuff and we were officially reviewing things. But I feel like I've seen them on a lot. I've seen them as a support.
They're definitely on a lot around Bristol.
Yeah,
I know they're
yeah.
Bristol based, but they're definitely
God,
hitting the
this
scene
is
up.
a big gig, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Throb, thrashy hardcore sludge, Tharsis, space rock, and yeah. So currently, we're not sure where exactly that. We're going to be posting up a lot on the socials, and obviously having a bit of a chat about why this is happening. But we're not 100% sure what that is at the moment. But we'll be posting all of that up.
It's currently for Moore, and we don't know when that's going to change.
But that's a big. That's like a half dayer.
It is,
That's basically like 4 till 9.
What is space?
No, 4 till. Well, I guess.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Well, I guess the most space rock thing we probably listen to is the Blood Incantations, isn't it? That's definitely.
Yeah, that's got elements of it. Yeah, it'd be softer than that for the space rock side of it.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully there's a theremin. I feel like space rock should have a theremin. Should be a theremin involved. Anyway, Gem.
Oh, and then on Sunday the 13th of July, we have got the Metal to the Masses final.
Woo!
So
Cannot
the
wait.
finalists are Calvaria, Mandragora, Monochrome, Vulture God, Smile More, Cruelty Circuit, and Frog Lord will be headlining.
Who won last year?
Yeah.
And it's sold out, so you can't even get a
Sold
ticket
out?
for that now.
You have to put yourself on the waiting list. They just posted that up today. You know, if you want a ticket, you want to maybe try and get in to get a ticket, you need to put yourself on the waiting list to see if people put stuff up for resales.
And I would highly recommend it because all the bands are going to be killer.
Also, by the way, that lineup that Jen just read out isn't the lineup of exactly what line.
the order.
They only announced that at the last second, so obviously there's no. It's like luck of the draw. So there's no favouritism with the bands and stuff.
It's going to be a tough competition.
Going to be tough.
I honestly have no idea who's going to go through.
I honestly don't either. I mean, obviously, and because it doesn't matter about my biases for Cruelty Circuit anymore because there's no crowd vote on this one.
It's all
so
judges.
I can't even try and be biased to my boys in Cruelty Circuit.
And no pressure to all the competing bands, but I think Simon Hall's going to be there.
Ooh.
Who books all
They
the bands
said that,
for Bloodstock.
Yeah. He's the one, isn't he? He's the Bloodstock guy. So apparently he's going to be at the Bristol one. So and it's the last one.
Yep.
So this band that wins this Sunday is the last band that's going to... They've already been announcing bands for the new Blood stage already.
I wonder which day the Bristol one's going to get, because I've seen the post today where they've added Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It might have to be Sunday because it's so much later than everyone else. But yeah, no. So yeah, the last one officially is going to be the last band that will be announced for the new Blood stage of Bloodstock. So
we've seen a lot of bands competing, actually pushing stuff and
really pushing stuff.
You know,
going for it.
They are.
It's going to be a tough one.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Also, keep an eye on door times because I know because it's been sold out, they are moving it earlier.
Oh, yeah,
just to get everybody in and everything.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, don't remember. I want to say
I
maybe
think
3:15.
Well,
I think you're right.
I think you're right as well. I think it's like 3:15 or 3:30, isn't it?
So yeah, it's going to be an early one.
Because before they've been like 4, 4:30, and now this one they're saying like, look, because we need to get a lot of people in the door potentially, we need to open this up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is good.
That's
and then you can support local and get some local beers.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right. So we all have our tickets for that, right?
Yep.
So good. Next one
just
is
under the wire.
Say again.
I finally bought mine to you guys. I'd had your tickets for a while. I don't know.
It was literally counting down.
On the guest list, but I was just like, I bought mine, and suddenly it was literally like, I don't know. The next morning, it was like, this is sold out.
I literally messaged you. It was like 79 tickets left. I'm like, you might want to get it.
I need to do this now. I was like, shit, yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's sold out. I don't know if the other finals have sold out and stuff, but maybe we'll ask Rich that when we.
It'd be interesting, different scenes and stuff.
Or even ask Simon if we get talking to him, like how have the other places
I just
done.
think it shows that the Bristol scene is so strong, and it also shows that all of these finalists have big fan bases. Like they've all got.
And they're all different.
They're all different.
They're all very different.
Very different bands.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how they judge it and who wins.
Yeah.
And then Frog Lord, that's going to be amazing.
Frog Lord's going to be fun.
That's
Because you guys have seen Frog.
I have, yeah.
I haven't, no.
I haven't seen them. I've heard loads of really good things.
You're going to enjoy them. They're really fun.
I'm really looking forward to Frog Lord.
I think that's a great way to top off a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Next one is on the 17th, which is probably up your alley, Teo.
Yeah.
So it's Divine Sentence, which is kind of metalcore
I've
hardcore.
not heard. See, it's weird because I looked at this one. I was like, I don't think I've heard of Divine Sentence.
No?
No, I don't. I can't think that I have.
Next one
I've
is...
heard of Ex Apothecary. Sorry, I'm taking your...
No, that's fine. No. I was actually going to say I don't know how to say it with the X's at the end.
So it's like the X Weapon X band I talked about. It's the straight edge thing.
Right.
Where they put X's at the beginning and end of the name.
That's how, okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
it's like,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yes, it's Ex Apothecary X, which is straight edge hardcore.
Yeah.
Misgendered, which is hardcore. Great name for a band as well.
Misgendered are good. So Misgendered are a trans outfit, I'm fairly sure. They've been getting pretty big recently, so they're really cool.
And then Cryptbreaker, who I am seeing a lot of crop up.
Once again, another band. I don't think I've seen them. Maybe I've seen them on a support, and it was like 3 years ago, and I don't fully remember.
I've definitely heard of them.
Yeah, but Cryptbreaker I've seen on a lot of gig posters again.
Well, from what I've seen of them, again, they're Bristol based, so hit us up. It'd be good to talk to you.
Yeah.
They've got one EP out, which came out this year.
Yeah.
So,
I'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know if
I mean, they must be kind of hardcore-y stuff.
I think they're black and hardcore.
Well, black and hardcore, that's cool. I like the black and hardcore stuff.
So the fact they're appearing in so many bills, they must be doing well.
I mean, the Bristol scene is strong, especially in that, like I said, the hardcore stuff of all different variations. Like, there's a lot of really good Bristol bands at the moment.
I wonder why Bristol is a big spot
it's just
for it.
become, I don't know, I think it's the politics, partially, because obviously, like, hardcore punk's always had a lot of that in it. I think it's the scene, I think it's the, it's just, the Southwest for a long time was always a bit weak. It was always the North. It was like Manchester, London, obviously, but like Manchester, that kind of stuff, like, that was always the better. And I feel like it's almost like Bristol has become there needed to be a Southwest outlet for where these bands were going to start and where they were going to be
But like, it's fine having a place where they can, but then to actually make an entire scene.
No, and they have. They've bands are just but that's how these grassroots things start, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just starts with a few. Like once again, Paul Collier, who we had on the show, go listen to that interview. It's really interesting. He was doing, been doing hardcore stuff in Bristol for over a decade, back when it wasn't pop, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Really pop. He was doing it in the. We talked about the gallows stuff earlier. He was doing the stuff back then when it was more popular, but then he kept doing it even when it dipped in popularity and no one was like kind of doing hardcore stuff anymore. And now, obviously he's back with a boom, and Perp Walk, you could argue, are one of the bands that really, especially here and in Wales, have been really doing a lot of that. So
seeing his travel photos are quite fun.
Yeah. He really wants to come back on the podcast, by the way.
You're welcome anytime.
We'll have to get him back on.
Make sure you listen to this and hit us up. Then we know you're listening. Theo, you're up.
Yes, I am up. Sorry, apologies.
The 18th of July is the next one.
18th of July. So, Iron Void, Doom with
Nawabum
influence.
I beg your pardon.
The new wave of British heavy metal. Nawabum.
What does that mean?
That's kind of like the Iron Maidens.
Yeah.
That kind of that genre. It's more the kind of dueling lead guitars and Cardinal's Folly.
What is that?
Psychotic heavy doom.
I was going to say, what Cardinal's Folly? What are we talking about?
I vote that we just make the dyslexic read out every single
Fiddling. Cardinal's Folly is a weird name for a band because it means
why?
The Cardinal's Folly that instantly springs to mind is he's been fiddling kids. That's a Cardinal's Folly. It is! Don't look at me like that, it's fucking true! Wouldn't it? If you're cardinaling in the church and you've done a folly, my first what the churches get up to is that he's been fiddling kids.
And anyway, there's a
I'm
term
not
for
saying,
it.
by the way, Cardinal's Folly, I'm not saying that you personally as a band of fiddling kids, I'm making that very clear. Baron Greenback.
Which is Doom.
And also sounds like a gay porn star that I used to watch back in the day. And that's at the Griffin. It's at the Griffin on the 18th of July, so if you want to come and watch some hardcore male gay pornography.
Surely Baron Comeback would have been better.
I mean, Tom's all over it. But
so
yeah,
yes, that's a night of
really
interesting doom.
I've got to be honest, I've not heard of any of those bands.
No, nor have I.
No.
Iron Void are relatively big, I would say.
Yeah.
They've got quite a big following. But yeah, it's a doomy night with extra things thrown in, I would say.
And a Cardinal's Folly. Whatever that means.
And a gay porn star, apparently.
Yeah. Jen? 19th?
Yes, on Saturday the 19th of July, we have got Overthrust.
Right.
Old School Death from Botswana.
Which sounds amazing.
Listen to some of them.
You've listened to them,
I
yeah?
actually listened to a bit of them because I really want to go to this gig. Really good. Really, really, really good.
Does the Botswana thing do anything to it, or is it just death metal?
Their stuff's about, some of their stuff's more influenced by some of that sound, and also like obviously what their lyrics are about. Obviously it's really difficult because for years and years there's always been this, obviously like when I say Africa, I know it's a massive continent, but there has always been this kind of like underground metal scene.
There is, yeah.
In Africa, and it's always been, and every now and again a band will manage to get through, but the problem is obviously for a lot of them is, there's not, the eyes aren't on them, the music scene's not there, and so getting the money together to be able to travel Europe is always really, really difficult.
Oh, understandably, because there's not going to be a big scene there.
No, so then, it's very kind of underground. And,
it takes some balls to do an underground metal band in a country where you're not at all promoted, a continent where you're not even promoted.
Obviously not known. But once again, I don't know, maybe if you're there, there's,
enough of a scene.
There's enough of a scene, but once again, it's like, unfortunately, probably unfairly, Africa as a continent is not known for its metal and rock music. It's just not known for that.
I don't think I could name an actual African metal band.
There was another one, they were a three-piece, they were like kind of old school Metallica thrash, and I've forgotten their name, and it was literally like 15 years ago, and they kind of broke through because it was like Metal Hammer did one of their things where they're like, metal bands from around the world that you haven't heard about, and they were one of them, and I can't remember what their name was, but they were fucking brilliant. And like they managed to get some good off the back of that Metal Hammer thing, I think they got some good support slots on stuff,
nice.
but like once again, it never seemed to kind of go anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Listeners out there, if you know who Teo's talking about, drop us a message on it.
I can't remember who it was. It was a good.
Be interesting to.
Anyway, sorry, interrupted you, Jan.
No, that's okay. So on that same gig, we have Obnoxious Concoction.
Great name.
Concoction.
Grinding Death. So
Nice.
sorry, that's the genre. That's
the show. Grinding Death, not the
genre
band.
is Grinding
Also, a
Death.
kick-ass name for a band.
Yeah.
Grinding
Yeah.
Death would be pretty badass.
And then we have our boys in Chewing Glass Collective.
Yeah, good old Chewing Glass.
Bristol based. Shout out to Mr. Dan Shawaddle. We love you, mate. So yeah, Bristol based extreme metal fusion.
They've been going for a while, haven't they?
They have been going for a while. So yeah, it's ex-members from Body Harvest, aka Shoddy Bum Vest, and Mortis.
Whoa!
Hey, I am the widow of the late great
Shoddy
singer
Bum
of
Fest.
Shoddy Bum Vest. And
Is
that's
there
what we
another
called it.
story there?
Oh no, yeah.
No, that was it. It was just Body Harvest, Shoddy Bum Vest.
Yeah.
It was just a stupid joke that made no sense. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Also, do love
Jen
Chewing
knows
Glass
everyone.
Collective,
Yeah.
and also, whilst we're on the podcast, also thank you, Dan, for making that extra track after Jake passed away with his vocals on it. It's a fucking ace track.
Oh, that's really nice.
And yeah, really lovely for you to carry that on afterwards. We also have. Ooh,
So you were aware of this band, obviously, then?
yes,
I thought you might be.
I am indeed.
So when it's extreme metal fusion, what do they fuse it with?
It's kind of hard to describe. So Chewing Glass is. Shoot me if I'm wrong.
They'll never shoot you, you're too good.
Chewing Glass is basically, it's a collective of lots of people in the metal community in Bristol that come together and do different tracks.
That's cool.
So, for example, after Jake passed, they had some vocal recordings from him
Yeah.
and finished the rest of the track basically.
Oh, awesome.
So he did a little bit of work with them, but you can dip in and out at all times. So
It's like Bristol All Stars then, like Bristol.
Pretty
All
much.
So yeah, like a
All
super group
Stars,
with
that's
that.
cool.
yeah, it's like a super group that comes and goes. I know there's
Well, like
been
Metal
members of-
Church, right?
Yeah, it's been members of Purple in them, for example.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
really
it's
cool.
just like when I say Chewing Glass Collective, it is a collective.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I wonder then if it's written by so many different people when they tour, as they currently are, like which members do they get and which songs do they go for, or do they just own all the songs?
I don't know. I guess we'll have
Well,
to
I guess
go
we'll
and
find out, yeah.
I
They
did
can
see
find
them
out.
quite a while ago, but yeah, I'm not too sure on the ins and outs of it. But also they do tag everybody. So if you go onto their Spotify, it will tag the other bands of people who have collaborated.
Oh,
in
that's
the
wow.
song.
That's
Cool.
really cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
This one, by the way, I'm 99.99% sure this one was a More Brewery gig, but it got moved to the Golden Lion.
Yes, so yeah,
I'm
definitely
fairly
was a more brewery gig.
Yeah,
but we
I'm,
will
I'm
see
nine.
what
I
happens.
saw that on Instagram today. They got moved to the Golden Lion.
Oh, okay.
So I want to say there's going to be a
Which is
Golden
on
Lion.
Gloucester Road.
Yeah, it's a great pub, by the way. They have great gigs. That's where the secret municipal waste gig was.
Wasn't that a biker bar at one stage?
I mean, not everywhere in Bristol was a biker bar on stage. No, it's a really good. The Golden Lion's solid. It's nice, good beer there as well. You know, it's cool. It's a good place to go.
Seems a little bit out, but
It's a little. I mean, yeah, for some of us, especially if you don't live on Gloucester Road already, it is a little bit because it's that little bit further up Gloucester Road. And for those of you who don't live in Bristol, Gloucester Road is very long. It's a very long road.
It is, but I feel like we've got that Bristol privilege of, this is going to take me 40 minutes.
Yeah. To walk, not to get a bus,
Oh, yeah.
just to walk. It's
it'll take longer to get a bus.
Oh, walking, being able to walk to like fucking,
Every
10 different
venue.
gig venues. Oh, it's a fucking pain in the ass.
But yes, on that same gig, we also have, how do I say this word?
Martyrs.
Martyrs Saint. They are a Bristol-based crossover thrash. And we've also got Empire of Dust.
Empire of Dust! The ones I said that you'd
Yes.
love. I talked about them. You weren't on the podcast then, but it was, they're really, they're
all
like
day
proper,
are in
like,
exchange,
doomy,
right?
doomy, like heavy. They're
Yeah.
Eastern based. They're
It does say
really good.
Bristol-based sludge doom. So yeah, we definitely need to
they're
get
awesome.
on that one.
So their singer is so funny because they were playing this predominantly more hardcore all day when I first saw them. And a bunch of my Eastern friends showed up and I was like, why are you all here? So for this band called Empire of Dust that we all know because they're all like Eastern boys.
Yeah.
And the singer shows up, he was lovely, I can't remember his name, but he's massive, he's like rugby player, massive. He takes off his shirt, he's got massive like Japanese like back piece and all that, and I was like, oh, these guys are going to be like proper hardcore. And then he just went into this like really high range, like screeching doom vocal stuff that he was doing, and I was like, oh shit, like this is awesome. Like, yeah, nice. I really like Empire. I've got to get to that gig. That's going to be a really good show.
It does seem good.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking.
I was thinking Martyr Saints is a reference to a horror book / movie. I've got something in the back of my head that's like it's a really violent movie.
I don't know, I feel like you're more clued up on that than I am.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this up on the socials afterwards. This is what I meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And then the band will be like, yeah, that's not what we meant.
That's not what we meant,
Yeah, sorry, I can only watch children's films where I get too scared.
Shrek is an awful bastard.
Yeah. I watched Shrek the other day. Comfort movie, it was brilliant.
Hey, you want to talk about it like bleeding in? We watched that Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. The fucking wolf in that is terrifying.
Nah.
It is one of the scariest villain entrances you'll ever see in a kids' film. Is the wolf that shows up in Puss in Boots.
They wonder why we're all fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And you look at cartoons, kind of going.
He's fucking terrifying. He's absolutely terrifying. If you haven't watched it, like genuinely scare your kids. Like he's actually like scary.
Scare them to bed.
Yeah.
They'll never want to see you again.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yeah.
On the 20th of July. So this one is one of John's. He's started doing a new thing. You have to follow his WhatsApp channel, which you can quite easily find. It's also all over his socials
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
Griffin WhatsApp channel really good to follow because he posts everything up on there first.
And also gives, with what he's trialing now, is giving you discounts. So there's an early bird ticket price.
Yes.
And then that changes the closer you get to the gig. And if you buy it with the early bird one, you also get a discount at the bar.
Yeah.
But this one is the first one I've seen where he's doing that. So hopefully we can fill the place. Already have a ticket for it as well.
Do you have one for this? Because I've been looking at this one.
I think you'd like this one.
Oh, of course, I know. I'm looking at the lineup.
So the lineup for that day, so it is in the Griffin, obviously, as I mentioned. It is One Day in Fukushima, which is grindcore.
Yep.
Peacekeeper, which is crossover.
Peacekeeper I've heard of as well.
Have you?
Yeah, not like heard, like I've seen them around.
So they're crossover hardcore trash. And Cryptbreaker again.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just mentioned them, so they're definitely doing the circuit. Cryptbreaker, we want to talk to you.
Yeah,
Get in touch with us. It'd be awesome. So yeah, that's in the Griffin. So yeah, I have a ticket for it, but I'm kind of...
I'm going to grab a ticket. I think I'm going to grab a ticket for this one.
I think it's really like £8 a ticket.
This is wait, no. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, man?
On Sunday?
No, we're not.
So yeah, that seems like a very nice, heavy night.
It looks good. Is that the last one, or am I doing one more?
There is...
Next one will be the 22nd.
22nd,
Tuesday.
yes.
Oh, fuck me.
Good luck with this Belgian outfit.
Okay.
Or Mexican
Ash Nazg Burrs.
I think you did pretty well.
Mexican black metal.
Yep.
Plus Suffering, which is a UK black metal band. Suffering, I think I've heard that, seen that name around. Ash Nazg Burrs.
It looks like the kind of extreme black metal where they go full on it, as in proper corpse paints and all sorts.
They're fucking the Latin Americans, man. They love their fucking heavy metal.
They do.
They fucking love their heavy metal. They love their brutal shit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Moises, who's one of the owners of the tattoo studio, because he's Portuguese Brazilian, I wouldn't be surprised if he's probably already knows who these guys are. He's probably already mates with them, and he's got a ticket or whatever, or he'd get them for free or some weird shit, because he seems to fucking any time a like vaguely like Latin American band shows up, he's like, oh yeah guys, I'm going to this. It's just like,
I know, so well.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Good night of extreme black metal at the Griffin. And as you said, the kind of Latin Americans do bring it, so I think it'll be quite a fun show.
It will.
Also, the fact they're coming from Mexico, make an effort, come out of your front door and actually...
Come to the Griffin.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely come to the
It's
Griffin.
on a Sunday, come on.
It's a Tuesday.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was a Sunday. Ignore me, it's on a Tuesday. Come on.
Jen, do you want the next one?
Yes, so on Wednesday, the 23rd of July, at the best pub in Bristol, the Griffin, we have Riders of Rohan. They are heavy adventure rock, kiss-like melodies with punk rock attitude to tell tales, I assume that's supposed to say, for the love of Tolkien. And Flickers from the Fen, who are Bristol wizard metal. This sounds sick.
Fun, doesn't it?
Look, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan in any way, you've got to be coming to this show.
Absolutely.
You've got to be coming to this show, surely. It's like Flickers of the Fen as a name of a band, just to start with, sound brilliant. they sound like one of Tolkien's like lesser known like Tom Bombadil works. You know, where you get all the short Tom Bombadil stories. Like, you can imagine Tom Bombadil and the Flickers of the Fen.
I'm more just excited they're described as wizard metal. What is wizard metal?
I'm expecting...
There better be some more pondering on stage. If I come to this show and I do not see the Wizard Metal Band pondering an orb, I'm going to be very upset.
There you go, lads. You've been warned. You're from Bristol as well, so there's no excuses.
Better ponder an orb.
I'm looking forward to that one. I've actually no idea what to expect, but it'll be fun.
But also, Kiss-like melodies with punk rock attitude. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, what's that even mean?
Anyway, as long as they scream Rohan answered the call in between songs, then I'm going to be happy about it.
Do you think they have a song called You Shall Not Pass?
They absolutely have
Me and my
If they don't, then they have missed a massive trick there.
Or even talking to someone that's getting too close to them. Like, just drop it in there.
You shall not pass.
Be awesome. Yeah. I think it's going to be really fun. I think that's quite an interesting one.
Sounds fun to me.
I think the last one we should do, and then basically people don't have a ticket for this already, you're not getting one, which is on the 25th, which is Friday.
This is sold out, isn't it?
Mr. Nice Guy.
So wait. So we're going to the bigger gigs now?
No, this is just happens to be in the same time.
Okay.
But this happens to be a big gig.
Yeah.
So it's Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
In London. The Millennium Dome. I don't know what the Millennium Dome is.
Oh, the Millennium, remember they built it?
Didn't
for the Millennium.
That?
No, they built it for the Millennium and then they never knew what to do with it. And it's like deteriorated into a weird kind of place, but it's like a grey zone that no one knows what to fucking do with anymore.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, they know what to do with it now because they're going to put Judas Priest and Alice Cooper there.
Love Judas Priest.
Yeah, me too. They've only got better with age as well. The last few albums were fucking incredible. I've never seen Alice Cooper live. I would like to see that combo, but I'm not going, unfortunately.
Alice Cooper is one of the best shows I've ever seen live.
Really?
Well, it's as theatrical as you can imagine it would be.
Does he still do the whole beheading thing? Or he beheads
did when
himself?
I saw him, but that was maybe, I want to say 2012. And even then, he was like, what, late 60s, early 70s.
God, how old is he now?
Should we Google it? Should we guess? Should we do a guessing game?
How old is Alice Cooper?
82.
Damn,
I think he's 79.
I'm going to say 76. And also, I haven't.
No cheating here.
Okay.
So you said 82.
Yeah.
I've said 79.
Well, Matteo, you are the close. Wait, hang on. What did I say?
76.
I win. He's 77.
Ah, well, there we go.
Well, it's in between mine and yours.
It's closest to mine.
Fair, okay. Random. Alright.
I win.
I mean, yeah. Be interested to see how much of that you can still strut on stage, I guess.
I don't know. I reckon
He's not, like, he doesn't run around the stage and stuff. He just does lots of theatrics and stuff, right?
Yeah, no, he kind of struts, you know. He just plays around with the giant Frankenstein.
Big snake and stuff as well, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, also...
Does he still do the real snake thing?
I don't know.
Oh, probably not.
Yeah.
But also, he's always looked ancient.
He has, to be fair, yeah.
Alice Cooper albums, and it's just like he looks like an old man.
He looks exactly the same.
Is it Wayne's World he pops up in, or Wayne's World 2? He looked old in that.
He is in Wayne's World, yeah.
Is he in Wayne's World?
Yeah.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Oh, Wayne's World.
He looked old when he was in Wayne's World, and that was like...
Oh, that was decades ago.
Like fucking
so he must have been
early
what?
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have been late 30s, early 40s and that, surely.
Yeah. But yeah.
Fair play. So,
yeah. Bigger show.
If you don't have a ticket, Judas Priest just got another award for something recently. Because Rob Halford...
breaking the law.
Hey!
That was good.
I like it. Well played. Well played. Yeah, because he started his acceptance speech by going, I'm the gay guy in the band.
Yep, nice.
He wouldn't have done that 50 years ago.
This whole thing, I mean, you know, it's so funny.
It is.
That's
the fact that...
No, within the male gay scene, within the mask gay scene, I should say, like, especially back in those days, like, the way he'd come out, like, you see all the old I've seen documentary stuff about the old gay guys talking about it, like, he come out on stage and he's, like, dressed as, what we now know is dressed as a leather daddy.
Yeah.
And just all these, like, straight guys going, yeah!
Mel as fuck!
Like, you know, and all buying, like, fucking
tight
halters,
leather.
Halters and the caps and everything and going, yeah, we're all fucking hardcore men who love, you know, and it's just like, there's all these gay guys going, you don't get it, you don't fucking get it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's a total musical genius, but also just a legend.
Yeah,
absolutely total legend.
Yeah.
Right, as we're on big gigs, shall we go on to other big gigs?
Got a few coming up, haven't we?
There is quite a few coming up. Shall I start?
Go for it.
So the first one I came across was King 810 or 810, which calls them.
They're really weird, that band.
They
are weird. Like, I can't tell what they're trying to do. They've been going for quite a long time.
Yeah.
They were kind of, at one point when they first started and they kind of got a bit viral, they supported Slipknot a bunch, and like a bunch of people kind of almost tapping them to be the new Slipknot. Weird.
Really?
I know, members of Slipknot were.
Right.
And it was like really weird. And it's like, they do obviously a lot because they come from Flint, Michigan, which obviously is, if you know your American towns, is a very difficult town to live in. It's the one with all the lead in the water that everyone's getting poisoned, basically, and a bunch of other stuff happens where it's.
In fact, the lyrics are all very much in that
industrial, poor town, and they do a lot of stuff about that. But like, they've kind of become more like experimental recently, and it's like.
I saw them at Bloodstock. They opened on the Thursday night, which is not an official night. It's just they put on some music and thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of described them at the time as murder metal, but in a kind of piss-takey way.
Yeah.
Like, they're really sinister.
They've also got some hip-hop stuff in there because they know loads
rappy
of the local...
kind of new metal.
They've had like... I've forgotten his name, but he's like the big kind of hip-hop guy from that area. Like, he's been on a few of their tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
So like they've got collection of a bunch of stuff like the street hip hop stuff. But they used to like do loads of songs about like kind of gang. Like I think the lead singer used to be in a gang, or he did go to prison or something.
A lot of the lyrics are about
like,
shooting
lore
people.
That I don't really know, and there's a lot of like songs about
It's kind of murder metal. It's kind of
you're right. Like the one I first listened to is like it starts off and it's just basically just this compilation of like radio police calls from Flint, Michigan itself. That's all like the amount of gun violence that's in like Flint, Michigan. It's like goes through the entire track while they're singing, basically. So.
That's pretty savage. They're pretty good live, to be fair. They put on a good show.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting type of band. Anyway, they're supported by Banks Arcade, which I've never heard of, which is a hard rock metalcore, which is also a weird mix. Hard rock and metalcore. You wouldn't have thought really go.
I mean, but that's the thing with King. 810 is like they kind of went. I think their newer stuff is a bit more metalcore. I think they've gone a bit more metalcore. Yeah, they're weird, man. Like this is. I don't know where they are right now musically. I haven't checked in with King 810 in a while. I don't know where they are.
I feel like they call themselves King as well.
Yeah, I mean it was a whole thing. It was almost like a gang. Like they're all getting the tattoos. Like their videos are full of people in balaclavas with the tattoos all over their legs and their arms and stuff. And like, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. It sounds lame.
It's a gimmick, but it's not an actual gimmick.
It isn't. Like the fact that a lot of the bands seem to actually come from this very difficult background. Like if it was just a bunch of posh kids like posing, then it'd be shit.
But like they have been shot and stabbed, and
and a bunch of them have been to prison, and like it's all pretty. Yeah, they got a really. My favourite song from them is that "Fat Around the Heart" song, which is basically about the fact that you couldn't handle like catching bodies. Basically, it's like. Yeah, it's like you're too like
Alpha and Omega's good as well.
Weak to kind of understand what it's like living here, and obviously, and to be fair to them, they also did a lot of stuff around the Flint water crisis.
Yeah,
they even did a song and everything, about
Yeah, the lyrics are definitely local to them.
Weird band. You know what's made me think? I might actually.
It's worth seeing.
I might go and listen to whatever their new stuff is to see where the fuck they are musically at the moment.
Yeah, they're worth seeing.
Yeah.
But that is on the 18th September in Thekla, which would suit them quite well.
Oh, it's in Thekla as well.
It is, what next one? Because
Dinosaur Pileup. Yeah, I mean, look, I like Dinosaur Pileup. They're the punk rock. They're really fun. I haven't listened to any of their new stuff. I'll be brutally honest. I kind of got introduced to them sideways with other friends being into them and seeing them live. I think the first time was at 2000 Trees like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, these guys are really fun. Like, this is really, really fun, like, punk rock. Kind of Blink-182, Green Day, like,
with
punk
really
rock, like,
piss-taking lyrics.
Punk. And then I saw them headlining Burn It Down Festival and stuff, and they're really, like, they're fun. I haven't listened to the new stuff. Dinosaur Pileup are a really fun time. The crowd will be really fun. People always show up in those T-Rex blow-up costumes to watch them. So there'll definitely be a circle pit full of T-Rexes. Nice. That's happened every single time I've seen them.
Have you got a T-Rex costume?
I wish I did. I want one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes. I might get one for Bloodstock. But, like, they have to stand next to me while I'm dressing it the whole time.
So Tom will be standing away.
I'll just go to the toilet in it.
I was just going to say, peeing and that's going to be a bit awkward.
No, I'll just go to the toilet in it.
Just piss in the dinosaur costume.
It'll help inflate it.
My left leg is very warm.
It'll help inflate it out in the heat. Anyway, no, but yeah, Dinosaur Pile-Up are really fun. Like, obviously, I mean, if you listen to their, you know, like the Back Foot and Thrash Metal cassette, it's a great song. Like it's fun. Like, you know what Dinosaur Pile-Up are great for? You're in the car, the windows are down, you want to put some fucking great driving music on. Dinosaur Pile-Up are a great way to go.
There you go.
Really fun band to do that. Thrash Metal cassette! Thrash Metal cassette! Like, it's, you know, great. Like, woo, we're going on a road trip. Like, you know. But they're really fun live as well.
They're supported by the Excerpts.
I've not heard of them.
Which is similar style. So it's
Okay,
going to be a
cool.
fun night, basically.
That'll make sense then, yeah.
In fact, you should probably have the next one as well.
Me?
Because it's one that you're quite...
Oh, well, it's a Stray from the Past. So we forgot about this one in the last podcast because it actually got announced and then we forgot to mention it, didn't we, last time?
Yeah.
So Stray from the Path, obviously, I really like Stray from the Path a lot. They're breaking up. So this is their last tour. They've released an EP, which is really good. I've listened to that. I've really enjoyed it. Actually, I should have mentioned that and probably stuff I've been listening to vaguely recently.
You've actually been listening to them?
Yeah, it's great.
They're a hardcore punk for our listeners.
Well, like, kind of slightly more Rage Against the Machine-y, I'd say. But
Okay.
the vocalist is very kind of like kind of slightly hip-hop inspired kind of vocal and stuff. Obviously, also a lot of people will know the drummer, who's English, the rest of the band's American, is English, is famous for, he's the guy who does the Downbeat podcast, who's like kind of become one of the big metal alternative podcasts. But yeah, they're really great.
Does be fuel from a fire.
Very political. Well, you know, never know. Right? You know, if we play our cards right, maybe we'll end up on his show. You can come on ours.
That'd be pretty cool.
But they're a very political band as well. You know, very, like I said, kind of Rage Against the Machine comparisons even more.
Yep.
They're breaking up after this big tour. I don't know how long exactly it's going on for. This is definitely probably going to be the last time you'll be able to see them, especially in Bristol.
Well, this gig is 28th November this year.
Yeah. So it's going to be the end. And then you've got Alpha Wolf as the main support. And Alpha Wolf are fucking brilliant. I want to say they're Kiwi, but they're like this new wave of basically like metalcore, new metal. And I've been really enjoying Alpha Wolf. They're just really great fun. Like, they're just great, like just nasty fucking metalcore, new metal kind of riffs and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be. Annoyingly, it's one of those ones that's been announced now. Finn downstairs, the bar guy's already bought his tickets.
There's also two other bands as well.
Well, I know. Well, yeah. What are the other two bands?
Graphic Nature.
Oh, of course. Fucking hell, yeah.
And Calva Louise.
And yeah. So Graphic Nature, obviously, really big band too. They're great. We saw them.
Yep.
Great hardcore band.
I've seen Calva Louise support Bloodywood.
Yeah. Were they good?
They were odd. They're like electronic post-hardcore. They're.
It wasn't my jam. Show maybe a bit, but anyway, it's a big show. Like, you know, Stray really like playing Bristol as well. They've always said that Bristol's one of their favourite places.
Yeah.
They've always had really good crowds. When I saw them, was it last year or the year before? No, it was last year. I saw them. They played the Electric again, and they were the headlines. They had the Guillotine on stage.
Ah, cool.
It was like they had a whole full Guillotine on stage because they had a big single called Guillotine. But yeah, this is going to be the last chance to see them. So whether it be in Bristol at the Electric or whether it be somewhere else.
It's not Electric, it's Bristol Crane.
Oh, it's the new one, the Crane, which isn't even.
I don't even know where it is.
Don't know where it is. We don't even think it's open yet. We think it's opening at the end of the year because we've got Igor tickets for that, haven't we?
Yeah, that's October.
Yeah, and then so at some point wherever this new venue is opening. I don't know enough about it, but yeah, so that's going to be it there. But if you want to see Stray from the Path, this is it. See Stray from the Path, basically.
Hometown, so
you know.
Jen, do you want the last big announcement? At least I've come across.
And the last big announcement is Full of Hell, who I've heard of.
Oh, I know. Full of Hell are huge. I tried to do Full of Hell. I got to be honest. I tried to do them at Damnation. I am not. I can't do that kind of just noise doom stuff for that long.
Oh, that sounds like my.
It probably is exactly. I was just thinking. I see exactly down your thing. Like, yeah, they are.
Well, it's like
Full of Hell are really
grindcore.
big. Full of Hell are really big. No. Yeah, I mean grind out, but it's more like noise stuff.
Right.
Wait, no. Or am I thinking of Gates of Hell? Ignore me. Carry on.
Okay.
I'm now second guessing that I'm thinking about the wrong band.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
We have Full of Hell. We have The Body, and we also have Jarhead and Jarhead Fertilizer. That's one band.
Wow.
And then we have, is it Jad or
Jad.
GAD?
Yeah. They're Polish hardcore.
Polish hardcore.
Wow.
Do we know the genres of any of the other ones?
The Body's experimental metal. Jarhead Fertilizer was a fantastic name. Is grindcore / power violence.
Oh, nice.
Crazy.
Okay.
And then Jad or GAD, I don't know which way you pronounce them, is Polish hardcore.
Yeah.
So that'll be.
I mean, it'd be a good show. I mean, Full of Hell are very popular.
So yeah, that is the 7th of April
If it's the-
2026 at the Fleece. If the other ones are hardcore though, I highly doubt that full of how we're going to
See,
do.
now you say that, I feel like they do that
I
thing
feel
where
like
they
I've
tour
heard
with a
of
lot
it.
of different kinds of bands.
Okay.
Yeah, it does happen.
Maybe we'll have to find out on the 7th of April 2026 at the Fleece.
Also,
Wow,
I'm surprised.
2026.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's 26.
Fuck yeah.
2026.
Wow.
That's not the biggest of gigs to have. Well, it's not even a year away, I suppose, but like it seems very far away for Fleece.
Well, they must be touring. They must be.
I guess so, yeah.
Right then.
So there we go. I
Right
think
then. That's all the gigs done.
That's all the big ones.
Yeah.
Unless you're aware of it.
No, I mean, as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen anything else getting thrown out there.
We're kind of in the quiet season for announcements, really.
You know, obviously festivals and stuff. So.
Should we do a little bit of news before we do our album review?
Oh, Tom.
Tom's Metal News.
News time.
News. It's not going to be a bit of news. Mateo's got news. Mateo's got news this time, Tom.
Okay. You can bring the tone down after.
He's not going to bring the tone. I'll do it in a light-hearted way.
And not for a 20-minute rant, because...
I mean, I'll try and keep it down.
Do. Right. I'll start with some positivity, because I know where you're going with your news.
Oh, yes.
So Comic-Con, for all our fellow nerds out there, there's a company over at Monopoly something.
Wait, what? Like
They're bringing another one to Birmingham, and it's very metal related. So I don't know why.
Is this the time with the Black Sabbath thing?
It's the week after. It's 11th and 12th of July. Funnily enough, the entire lot of the Osbournes are going to be there.
Yeah.
Plus Sid from Slipknot, because obviously he's going out with or married to Kelly.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, he's not busy setting himself on fire.
Right. Imagine the pressure of that, though, right? You start going out with this girl, and then you go to meet the parents, and it's fucking Ozzy. Like, Jesus.
I think they probably played
He wouldn't
together.
be.
He's
Yeah,
played
he wouldn't be.
band before.
Definitely. It's probably how you met Kelly, to be fair.
Yeah.
But also Randy Blythe's going to be there, and Frank Bell of Anthrax.
Wait, at Comic-Con?
Yeah, I don't know why.
This has to be to do with Iron Maiden playing like the week before.
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath playing the week before.
Yes and no. Oh, Lamb of God are there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
So, yeah.
See, it's got to be that they're all there.
So it's a good time to go to Comic Con.
Yeah, well, fucking,
Yeah,
especially in
meet some-
Birmingham. Jesus
yeah.
Christ. They've got a whole museum set up for the Black Sabbath thing.
They've
as well,
done a lot in
haven't they?
Birmingham
Yeah,
for it
there's a
now.
lot.
I don't know if anyone saw, but obviously the big murals and stuff they've painted for him. The entire
Big
lot of
what?
black murals. Murals? Murals.
Murals.
This is going to be a problem.
It's not.
We're going to have a bigger problem when we get to the band we're reviewing later, because I cannot say the fucking name of the band.
I love it. It's going to be amazing.
Anyway, the big paintings of early Black Sabbath, they've all been over and they've signed it, and it's pretty freaking cool. I think there was something else I was going to mention that actually. Basically, they've also been given the freedom of the city, which is a very old tradition in the UK.
Yeah.
It's
It's kind of like being given the keys. I think in America,
Exactly,
you get given
yeah.
the keys to the city.
That's
isn't
such
it?
madness, isn't it? Obviously, when they came out, it was like, this is satanic.
Yeah, we
This
hate
is
it.
forbidden.
And now everyone's there going, oh, we love you.
They're like, oh, Aussie, please.
Yeah.
It basically recognises people's exceptional service to a city.
How much do you think Sharon Osbourne's going to make it about herself?
Probably quite
She
big.
probably already has. Do you know that they're charging for the thingy as well? It's like 25 quid
What thingy?
for the live Black Sabbath show.
It's 35 when you actually add on all the taxes, but yeah.
What, it's like a
35
paper,
quid.
it's like more than a fucking UFC fight.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But it's all gone charity anyway, so.
Is it going to charity or
It better
is it going
be. Into
to
Sharon Osbourne's pocket.
I mean, she's already loaded.
Well, she's not
And-
loaded enough.
Also, when she's not at Comic Con, you can go get her signature for 80 quid somewhere in Birmingham.
£80
For Sharon's signature.
for her signature.
Yeah.
Are you having a laugh?
Aussies is cheaper.
Fucking Aussies is cheaper.
So, yeah, there you
That's
go.
fucking hilarious. That is absolutely fucking hilarious.
There's got to be some sort of legal thing somewhere where
Oh,
she knows Ozzy's
God.
going to die soon, and
Oh,
perhaps he's
so
going to just.
surely.
She's not.
He's
getting
already
his money or
on like
something.
cryo life support. He's like they're just doing that Ferris Bueller's Day Off thing with him, where they're just like moving his arms around. And she's
Well, they are all currently in the UK, and they've had done the first rehearsals and stuff, so it's definitely happening. There's a lot of fake news going around going that Ozzy's pulled out and everything. He has not.
Yeah.
The only one who's pulled out is Mammoth Van Halen. No one cares about him anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's just riding his daddy's success.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Like I said, nepotism.
yeah. Other news, bit of sad news. Biff Bifford from Saxon is undergoing emergency procedure, which is possibly related to his heart. Yeah. Because he had a heart attack a year or two ago. So
hopefully
that's
he recovers.
Not good. They've currently cancelled the first 10 summer shows.
Yeah, I saw that. They've had to cancel a bunch of shows. But, you know, it's for a legit reason. And and it's a weird thing. Like, I don't know how you two both feel about this. I know, like, we just talked about it with Party Cannon, obviously much smaller band, but getting a new drummers in to play. But weirdly, part of me kind of respects is like, no, this guy's like one of the main members of the band. We're not doing this without
without him.
Members of the band. Do you know what? Even though I'm sure if they asked him, he'd probably say like, carry on without.
I think for vocalists, it's hard because they are the sound.
No, but I've even seen it with that. You've seen bands, and I'm not saying it's always a bad thing. I'm just saying it's. I don't know why. There's a part of me that's always like, you know, kind of solidarity.
Yeah.
Like, fair shout. You know, like
we're not doing this without you.
One of your guys is ill. You know, we're not doing it without him. He's part of the band. He has to play live, otherwise we're not playing.
I like that.
I don't know how you two both feel about it.
I think it's just very circumstantial.
Yeah.
Like, it depends on the band, it depends on who is not well. I mean, you could say, what was it the other day that Linkin Park played?
Yeah.
Well, Thingy's dead, isn't he?
True.
Yeah,
still plays.
True.
But,
and we've already talked about
it.
Replacement, so there's a lot of controversy around that.
Replacing the singers is always a hard one.
Yeah, the thing. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's more than the musicians, but you're right. I mean, true. It's just a little interesting thing that comes into my head.
I do agree.
Like, you know,
but then the other side of it, you kind of look at what Metallica downloaded several years ago, where Lars was out sick. But basically, everyone on
you
had Joey Jordison play instead.
Yeah. So way better drumming for Metallica.
Exactly.
I watched a reel. I showed it Jam. His wife Lars played for Queens of the Stone Age, and it's this guy managing. He's obviously a really good drummer because he's doing it so well. But he's playing Queens of the Stone Age but just out of time, and doing all of Lars's mannerisms perfectly down to a T.
Love it.
You know when he just adds random drum fills in the middle of a verse, and then in the next verse, instead of repeating what he's done, he'll just make something completely different up. Oh my god, his drumming.
Let's stand on his stool.
Yeah.
Yeah. My pattern needing brain does not get on with Lars's drumming.
I do get that.
Lars is the Ringo of the metal scene, isn't he? Like, he really is.
And Lars was the drummer. Yeah.
I'm not going to do all the news, but I'm going to do a funny one, I think, which is...
Here we go.
I mentioned earlier at the start about having Limp Bizkit news.
Oh,
maybe that was before we recorded. Anyway, I have some Limp Bizkit news.
Yes! I love Limp Bizkit.
A bit... Yes! Golden Cobra. Anywho, Wes Borland, obviously the guitar player. So they are currently on tour with Metallica doing the M72 No Repeat Weekend. Yeah. But it's their last leg of it, because obviously they changed up the bands and so on and so forth, and Limp Bizkit have to do their own thing. So Wes Borland came out dressed up as an old
I
James
saw
Hetfield.
this, yes, he came out
skull face with the proper hair,
but he had his
Metal Up Your Ass t-shirt,
it's so funny,
and the Explorer guitar, and he just played as an old
weird,
James Hetfield.
It was so funny,
which is amazing.
It's fucking brilliant. I fucking love Wes Borland, man.
So do I.
Yeah.
And also similarly with Fred Durst, he now has a new persona.
What's that?
Yes.
So he's gone away from the kind of hippie old man thing, and now he's kind of gone full on, full afro, kind of rockabilly kind of.
Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah.
They
just randomly walked out on stage. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Their next album's going to be like an electric swing album.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit of fun. I love that about Limp Bizkit. They've got to the point in their career where they're like, let's just have fun.
But that makes them even better. The fact they stopped trying to take themselves seriously makes them 10 times better than they even were back in the day when I loved them. Back in the new metal era.
And no one even questions it. It's like, cool, you came out dressed up as a dead James Hetfield.
Yeah.
Rock on.
I love it. Right. And what's great is is that a lot of the musicians, not just Wes Borland, obviously the bassist and the drummer, get a lot of credit now in the scene. As being really they are very talented, whether you like Limp Bizkit or not, you've got to give it to them. They're very talented musicians, and they have inspired a lot of the younger lot are coming out going, Wes Borland inspired me, bass inspired drummer, you know what I mean, talking about them as a very inspiring band for how good they were.
I mean, the stuff is good.
Well, the big joke about it was that basically the reason they joined Fred Durst in Limp Bizkit was because there were no other heavy bands going in Florida.
Right.
They were just we'll have to join this guy's rap metal band because there's no one else we can join to make heavy music, and we all want to make heavy music. I don't know whether that's true. That's always been the rumor that like kind of went around. They were just like, well, fuck it, we don't know who else to play with, so we'll just join this guy in his baseball cap and
skateboard and spray can.
You know. So yeah.
Love it.
Awesome. Right then. So I've got some news. We have to do some proper news. So this is going to start off obviously as a bigger thing, and then it's going to come into Bristol centric because we've got some Bristol stuff to talk about. There's been drama, and by drama I mean horrific political views from certain people. So basically, let's start off. We're going to have to touch on Glastonbury. Oh no, right? We're talking about Glastonbury.
Yep.
But very quickly, basically, unless you've literally had your head under a fucking rock by this point, especially when this podcast comes out, you would have seen that there are two bands from the UK, both of which we have actually mentioned on this podcast before, Kneecap and Bob Vylan, who are now currently being kind of touted around as being like the enemies of the state.
I love Bob Vylan.
I love Bob Vylan, they're great. They're fucking awesome live as well. I've seen them 2000 Trees a few times and stuff. So they played, when I first went to 2000 Trees, it was like the year after lockdowns and stuff. Obviously, they'd gotten so big, like, when they first booked them, they were like, oh, we'll have you on the new stage tent.
Yep.
And then, of course, by the time they actually had the festival, they were so popular, it was like, you're in there like, oh, Jesus! And, like, people are letting off flares and stuff, and you were like, oh, no! Like, it's turned into, like, you know, but they're great. I love Bob Vylan's pieces. But obviously, like, we're going to talk about Israel-Palestine a bit, because that's where we're going with this, is that, obviously, they very openly, you know, talked about Kneecap in trouble, up on terrorism charges. Potentially, at this point, by the time this podcast comes out, Bob Vylan might be up on terrorism charges as well. But, you know, that's happened, and, you know, death to the IDF, which is the Israeli Defense League, that's the chants and stuff, you know. People know that. Let me be very clear. I'm going to talk about this from my point of view. This isn't Tom's point of view. This isn't Jen's point of view. This is my point of view, just to be very clear. Obviously, as you already know, because we've talked about it, we've skirted around it a little bit sometimes on things in the podcast. Obviously, I'm a huge advocate for Palestine, and that's what I believe in. I believe Israel is committing a genocide against Palestine. So this is all kicked off, and obviously it's been going on for a while. So to be clear, with the Glastonbury stuff and with those two bands, just be very aware, if you're listening to this, almost every single artist at Glastonbury basically said, we don't agree with Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people. Just be very aware that the media is trying to make out that it's just two bands that did this. And it's not. There's actually a lot of bands and a lot of artists and a lot of DJs and everyone else. And there's Palestinian flags everywhere. They're just trying to pick these two guys out to kind of like... And also be very aware that they're trying to pick the scary Irish chavs and the ones who say Brits out, and the scary big black men from London as the two kind of main culprits of this. So why does this have to do with Bristol? Well, everyone, as you've already noticed when we talked about gigs, we just talked a lot about Moore Brewery, who we've mentioned before. We like their beer. We've been to some of the gigs that they're...
Good venue.
Yeah. Good venue. Very good
Supports
venue.
local.
Supports
properly.
local. Problem. The... Justin.
He's one of the co-founders.
He's one of the co-founders, American, if I remember correctly. So he decided to, basically, I'm not going to read out the whole statement, don't worry. But basically he took to social media and he made a very inflammatory post basically saying that after the Glastonbury stuff, which is why I brought the Glastonbury stuff up, about how the IDF are actually all heroes and like that they're protecting Western like values and all this kind of stuff. Also with a picture of like the IDF's like symbol, which is like a sword in a Star of David and all that kind of thing. Which of course has now meant that pretty much every single promoter has pulled their gigs from Moore Brewery, both in Bristol and in London.
Let's just be clear on this too, though. Moore have also come out and said...
They have issued an apology. It is, I'm sorry to say, not gone down well because it's far too fence city. It's too vague. Yeah. It's trying to vaguely distance without distancing. We'll get on to like my personal feelings of like what I think they should do in a second. Like, but yeah, it's way too vague. So Moore Brewery as a company have come out. They've kind of very vaguely said like we don't agree with genocide and blah, and Justin's very hands off and blah, and like, but it's just way too fancy. It's not helped at all. It's not helped at all. No one's buying it. Unfortunately, because his original post is way too vitriolic to kind of take back that you can't kind of fence it his post.
Yeah, but the argument you can have is like if you said something people didn't agree with and then we get tarred with the same thing, then
true.
That's exactly what's happening.
We'll talk about that in a sec because obviously it ties into potentially what I personally think maybe they're going to have to do. So basically, that's happened. The exchange is not selling more beer anymore.
Well, they are, but for £1.
Well, yeah, and always going to charity. Many pubs around Bristol that are stocking more beer are now officially saying that they're giving any money made from more beer is going to go to various Palestinian charities. Like I said, all their gigs, pretty much almost all of their gigs, both in Bristol and in London, have been pulled, and promoters are trying to find new venues for stuff. Because look, at the end of the day, it's, you know what's funny? I was thinking about this, right? It's similar to, you know, when we had the chat with Pizza Tramp. And, you know, I know you weren't there for it, but I know you listened to it. But, like, we had a bit of a laugh about the conservative punks thing. Like, it makes no sense. Unfortunately, that, weirdly enough, there's just a kind of... It's like you want the aesthetics of that, of, like, punk and hardcore and all this stuff. But then you're massively conservative and racist and you believe in all this. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't work because then none of these bands are going to want to do anything with you. So, fair shout, and it's a huge thing. So now let's quickly get on to, like, obviously, like, how is this going to affect the scene? The reality is this. They have to get rid of him as, he has to be get on rid of as an owner.
I mean, he was already in the background anyway.
He's already in the back, but he has to be removed. Like, it's the only way this is going to work out is that he is, like, officially removed from the company completely, and they go, he's been removed from the company, these are our values, this is what we believe, and they move on from there. They haven't done that. I don't know if they're going to do that.
I mean, it only happened yesterday.
I mean, yeah, I know. This is all very new drama.
Yesterday?
Yeah, it's literally it's all kicked off. It's after the Glastonbury stuff. That's why I brought the Glastonbury stuff up, because it's basically him. It's him responding to Bob Vylan, you know, chants about death to the IDF. Now, look, I am not going to get into, obviously, my, you know, if you want to see for yourself, listener, about things, you can search. Google, even Google, you know, and things like that. You can easily find what the IDF have been getting up to in Palestine very easily. I will say that literally just the weekend that all of this has been happening, there's been a report. By the way, all of this stuff is official, not hearsay, not this. A report that basically they have been playing red light, green light from Squid Game with Palestinians trying to get food, aid points. That's the only thing I'm going to say on that. Go and do the rest of the research yourself if you want to. But, you know, I'm just saying very clearly from my personal perspective, once again, don't speak for Tom, don't speak for Jen, that I don't think chants like that are problematic. I don't think it's actually that much of a problem. I think the media, especially in this country, is trying to create a huge furore around this, because what they're trying to distract from is the fact of what our government is actually doing and how they're facilitating Israel's genocide in Palestine. Anyway, back down to the local stuff. It doesn't work, mate. You can't have views like this, especially not when you're supposedly supposed to be one of the best punk and hardcore punk venues in Bristol. Like,
it's an oxymoron, isn't it?
It's an oxymoron. What he said, you know, he said it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. Conservative punks don't make sense. Like, you've got bands that have already played there that have songs about freedom in Palestine. Hissy Fit, you know, recently, like, they played there not even that long ago, and they've got a song about, you know, Netanyahu having blood in his hands and all this kind of stuff. So basically, I don't wish the end of more beer. I don't wish more beer's cancellation as a whole. I don't wish it as a company. I hope that I know some staff members from there. I hope they're doing well. I hope it's all right. But unfortunately, the situation they're now in, he has to be, like, it needs to be a clean break. Otherwise, I don't see this going well for them, like, as a local music venue and as a portrayer of local beer, because I just don't see anywhere that's going to get on board with them until they. This has to be done. Yeah. The head of the rot has to be cut out of this, and that unfortunately means that this Justin guy has to go. He just has to be fully removed.
On that note, though, well done to the Bristol scene for getting on board with that literally as soon as possible. I mean, we've just noted off some gigs, and we've already realised that a lot of people have had to move their gigs. So a
lot of venues, and it's great, you know, the fact that we've got so many venues that promoters have been able to move shows literally within a day and go and do this and go and do that and go and do all these different things. But yeah, so that's the Bristol drama. That's what's been going on.
On a positive note, let's not cancel Moore. Let's
No,
hope they can get themselves out of the wall.
It's not about that. It's not about
not
cancelling
Moore
Moore
as
as
a
a
whole,
company.
but
It's not
it
about
is-
cancelling
yeah.
Moore or saying like. But unfortunately, right now, if he stays at the head, even if it's a hands-on head of this company, they leave themselves in this position of people aren't going to drink their beer and people aren't going to want to play there.
Yep.
That's fundamentally that that's what I mean. It feels like the only option is he has to go. Like, you know.
Yeah, sorry, that was what I meant as in my congratulations to the Bristol scene in the sense of like we're already getting on board.
Everyone's
with it,
rounding
but
around. I mean, that's the thing. In
obviously
a
things
in a city
change.
like Bristol, like that kind of commentary. How the fuck do you think that was going to play out? Bristol's one of the wokest cities in England. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have some of the biggest, outside of London, we have some of the biggest Free Palestine protests going. Like, anyway. Nonsense, drama, but also important drama. I don't want to be flippant about it. Very important. Free Palestine. And, you know, hopefully this all gets sorted. As Tom said, it's not about cancelling more beer or we don't want staff to get fired or, you know, anything like that to happen or people to, like, you know, for all of it to get destroyed. But unfortunately, this one person is potentially putting all of that at risk for the entire company at this current moment in time. We might have a quick update on that in the next podcast. Hopefully it will be a positive one.
Hopefully.
Once we'll hope. But yeah, so just keep an eye out on all these gigs because obviously they're all getting moved. And they're getting moved to a lot of different places because it's promoters trying to find things at the last second. So.
Which could find more venues for us to go to.
I know, but in a way, like we were talking
Golden
about
Lion.
earlier off the thing, the Golden Lion, and then also, one of the gigs has been moved. I think it's one of the later ones, that's why I haven't talked about it, but it was one of the ones got moved to the ill repute that's on Old Market, which, you know...
That'd be fun.
Which would be fun. So yeah, you know, positive out of a bad situation, but it had to be talked about, and yeah, all good. Right then.
One more bit of news. I'm going to really struggle, and everyone's going to get a laugh at this, because my brain will not comprehend the word.
Say the band's name, Tom.
So, and before I get there, this band was the secret one at Download. I know we mentioned Download at the last one. We said what was going on.
My friend told me that went, yeah.
And they absolutely destroyed the
everyone
place.
thought it was going to be somebody else. I can't remember who the fuck did they say? Who the fuck did he say it was going to be? I can't remember. But apparently a lot of people thought it was going to be a different band. That's why there were so many people there. They still destroyed,
they did.
But a lot of people thought it was going to be a different band.
I wouldn't have been disappointed with that, to be fair. Probably been one
Trivium.
of the highlights. People thought it'd be Trivium.
Yes, because he was there. That was it. They thought it was going to be Matey Bob. Because then I had to tell them the story about Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine having a
little
handbags at Dawn on their tour and stuff. Yeah.
Do you remember that logo that Trivium made that looked like it said Triviate? Where the M looked like a T, so they tried to do it like symmetrical.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Triviate.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The secret band at Download were Malevolence.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh, he did it! It
Yes!
won! Come on!
Yes!
Well done, Tom.
So the reason this is going to be a problem is because the album that David from Black City Records has given us is fucking hell.
You had it. Take a breath. You had it.
It's the V is killing me. Malevolence.
Say Mal.
Mal.
Ev.
All.
Ents.
Ints.
Malevolence.
Malevolence.
Close enough.
You had it. Okay, look, everyone, just take the first take. We're taking the first take.
Right, so the band's called Malevolence.
They are called
Hey!
Malevolence. There you
I
go.
did it.
You see, you know what it is if you don't think about it. If you don't think about it, you just say it. You're doing
The V
it.
is killing
as
me,
soon as
though.
you think about it, it's you're getting in your head about it.
So this is a band I had heard quite a lot about, and mostly their energetic sex and everything else. But to be honest, I'd never listened to them.
Backseat Review. Here we go.
So
straight in.
This is their fourth album.
It is their fourth, which is crazy because I always think of them as a.
No,
Got a while. Got a while to go.
Not just there yet.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Obviously, like I'll be honest, I think there's only been one. Like this is an album that I was going to listen to anyway.
Yeah.
Right, because I obviously Malevolence, big in the hardcore scene for a long time. They have kind of changed their sound a little bit since then, but like definitely kind of started off. They're from Leeds, I think.
Sheffield. Close enough.
I'm sure people at Leeds. The north. I'm a Bristolian. The north, you know.
Anything north of here is the north.
They might as well bring Hadrian's Wall down to Somerset, as far as I'm concerned. Call everyone Scotland.
They've been on the scene for 15 years.
It's crazy because it just feels like they've not been going, like, if they feel like such a new band.
No,
Well,
they do, yeah.
On that, so they've been around for 15 years, but a little bit of a fun fact for you. Back in 2021, they played on an early afternoon slot in Bloodstock. Fast forward 3 years, and they were the main support on the main stage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nuts.
No, it's good. It's a good rise, and it's like it's good to see a local. And they've gotten big in America. They've gotten big in Europe. They've gotten big in Asia. They've got they've risen up very very well in the scene, and it's really good to see.
So the album itself is called "Where Only the Truth Is Spoken."
Yep.
It was recorded at Dave Grohl's 666 studio.
Was it?
Which is pretty cool.
He wasn't there. He was shagging his missus.
Probably,
Not his wife.
Still pretty historic.
Sorry, every time Dave Grohl comes up now, you've got to make a joke about it.
Surely more him up in Devil.
I've got a daughter.
With someone else. Anyway, back to where we were. It's called Where Only the Truth Is Spoken. It's 11 songs, 40 minutes.
Yep.
Rattle through the names of them. So it is Blood of the Leech, Trenches, If It's All Same to You, Counterfeit, Salt the Wound, So Help Me God, Imperfect Picture, Heaven Shake, In Spite, Demonstration of Pain, and With Dirt From My Grave.
Yeah.
Right, shall we start with album cover?
It actually matches up a lot of like their last 2 albums. I want to say have very similar. I think it must be the same artist.
Yeah.
This kind of like weird like
painting
kind of look with like a kind of figure and stuff, and
it looks like the fella's burnt his way out of a building.
Yeah, but it's also like but this is definitely the same artist. I want to say at least on the last 2 album covers for them as well. So it's like this kind of like almost like screen printed.
Yeah.
Like use all these different effects, but it looks kind of screen printed on, if that makes sense.
I really like it because, like, when you look at it and actually pay attention to the thing, it kind of like you're going to listen to this and there's going to be carnage left.
There's also a lot of details in there that I think that you don't notice. Like you kind of see the kind of silhouette image of the person in the burning kind of building.
I originally thought the person was holding a mic, but actually they're doing this.
Oh, they're doing silence.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. See,
It's like, you've just seen this, but don't tell anyone because we're coming for you next.
No, it's very cool. It looks like it's just melting, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Which is good for
whoever the artist is very good.
So who wants to go first then?
Jen, ladies first.
Jen, you're up.
Oh, hang on.
Back. Jen, what do you think about?
See us in. What do you think?
Okay, so I actually kind of struggled with this album. I listened to it probably about 4 times, and my attention span was just not grabbing it very well, and I don't know why, because I didn't dislike it, but there was just something that just was not grabbing me into the album.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know, which is a very odd take considering I did quite enjoy it. I won't say that I'm the biggest Malevolence fan. I've not really listened to a lot of their other stuff. They've come on and I've not had an issue with it, do you know what I mean? But it's like...
I think with this album, like, if it was on in the background, I could see where you were getting at. But if you actually listen to it, like stop and listen to it, each song is...
I mean, usually I'm listening to albums while I'm doing something, but I have... The last 2 times especially, because I struggled with it the first couple of times, I've really tried to make an effort to like zone in on it.
Yeah?
And the monkey
and still
was
didn't.
just monkeying for some reason.
That's a shame.
I know. I mean, I did really enjoy the breakdown of If It's All the Same to You.
Yeah.
That was the big single, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I want to say that was the...
I think it was, and Salt and Wound was the other one.
Yeah.
Yes, so yeah, I've also put Salt and Wound on here because as much as like, so sometimes I do feel like I lose a lot of momentum when a slow song gets stuck in the middle. It depends on the album, depends on how it's done. But Salt and Wound, obviously the slow song, it gets a lot more
partially
groovy,
slow,
and I do really like the build-up of it. It kept it quite interesting.
That song for me was the first song I've heard in a very long time where every time, even now, I was listening to Car in the Wind, hairs on my arm stand up. Just when he goes, Salt in the Wound is just fucking insane.
Is that the one with Randy?
No, that's In Spite.
That's In Spite, yeah.
That's near the end.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Randy Blythe.
Randy Blythe from Lamb of God.
I keep wanting to say Randy Orton. That is a different person.
That'd be a bit weird.
For all the wrestling fans out there.
There is no RKOs in this album, even though it does
I mean,
totally slay.
You kind of, I mean, a couple of tracks definitely RKO you.
Oh yeah, you could RKO with some of these breakdowns.
You could RKO some of the breakdowns for sure.
I've also put here, So Help Me God was not a fan of that track. It was just far too metalcore with me. Same as Heaven Shake. The album itself, though, there was a lot of, I could hear a lot of Pantera and a lot of Lamb of God influence.
Yeah,
obviously
totally agree.
Blythe. He's on one of them.
I had exactly the same notes.
Definitely. So yeah, really groovy, a lot of groove metal, but it's also going into metalcore. But I will be honest, it just kind of, after I struggled with it, I kind of thought, well, if I wanted to listen to that, I'd listen to Lamb of God or Pantera.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm sounding like I hate the album. I don't hate the album. I just kind of struggled with it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bounced off a bit. What was that band? Was it Testament? We both had a bit of that. Was it? No, not
No,
Testament.
it wasn't.
No, what the fuck was it? It was another one that we were.
Oh, that was Benediction.
Benediction, that was it. Yes, and remember we both kind of had a bit of that as well, where it's like it should have been something. That
there was nothing wrong with it. It just didn't capture
it. It kind of bounced off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they're doing things that other bands are doing, maybe a bit. I don't know, better maybe isn't the word, but
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For me, it's interesting to say that because what I liked about it was the kind of blend of styles. There's clearly hardcore elements in there. There's clearly metalcore elements in there. There's clearly groove metal in there.
We've got the hardcore breakdowns in there.
Yeah, there's even deathcore breakdowns.
Yeah, really,
there's some nasty breakdowns, melodic soaring.
I don't know why it wasn't sitting with me because some of those breakdowns were beefy.
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got the real chug and lift, and it goes into like soaring leads, and you get like this amazing guitar solos over the top. Like, where's this come from? But I like that. I like that they blended the styles so well.
Yeah.
And for me, it kind of describes it as when people talk about modern metal or kind of post-metal stuff, this, I would say, is fundamentally that. Yeah. Yes, it leans heavily into Lamb of God and kind of Killswitch and Pantera, I do agree with you. Yeah. But I think the fact they pull from other styles and make their songs their own.
I also think it's what you're seeing is the rise of what is new metalcore. You know, like once again, get the counters ready. Obviously, I've talked about Knocked Loose's new album a lot, and you know that. Not so much. But like it is obviously arf my way to the grave. But yeah, you know, like so I do think that this is that kind of thing of these. Yes, you would call it metalcore as a kind of main genre. But they pull from a lot of different places, don't they? Kind of stylistically, it's not.
Or the new wave of American heavy metal,
and hardcore a lot. Definitely, hardcore's a big.
I love the transition between the two, and I know metalcore is they're linked anyway. Hardcore and metalcore are linked, but the transition they do between the two is quite fantastic, and that comes from both guitarists because one of them is a hardcore fan and the other one's a metalcore fan, and they blend it really well, I thought.
And also you can tell that these guys have been playing together for quite a long time. I caught a bit of an interview with the two guitarists on some kind of podcast.
It's been the same members, I think, since the start.
Yeah, no, that's what. Yeah.
Since they were 12, I think.
Funny enough, it's funny you say that. So they were talking about like it's one of the big riffs they've got for one of their older songs, which I think I want to say Keep Your Distance, which is one of their older, one of their big kind of breakout singles from I think not their last album, maybe the one before. And they were talking about how they like wrote that riff like 15, 16 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like
they were onto something they didn't even know.
Yeah. So what else do you think, Tom?
I think the other notes I have in it was firstly the vocals are very Randy Blythe-esque. It comes through like it's kind of a clean guttural, which, if you know what I mean, Randy Blythe. Think of it that way. Yeah. The opening track absolutely smashes you in the face.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, this fucking tasty riff comes in, real technical riff, little bit of a roar, double bass kicks in, you're like, oh my god, this is going to cause damage. The whole album I found had so much energy. Like, every song was just face melting, head, like you want to move.
I agree with you to a certain extent. For me, I'm the same as Jen, the kind of more, there's a ballad song. Which one is it? There's a ballad song somewhere in the middle that I just wasn't.
That was the one that I mentioned about it.
And I just wasn't the biggest.
Salt the Wound.
I think it was Salt the Wound. I was just a little bit, I don't know, it lost me a little bit. I know what you mean though, it's Glad Energy, but like, I don't know,
See, I know what you mean, but I've kind of gone the opposite way. I feel like as a middle kind of chiller song, it still worked really well, and I really.
Oh no, it still worked. No,
yeah.
But don't. I just mean like what you're saying about the energy. It's like I just felt that maybe stalled the energy out a little bit. Like I get you have to have a slower song. You have to have like.
They didn't put the slower one at the end, which I appreciate.
No, I mean because I do find it frustrating sometimes where it feels like bands just throw. I think I've even ranted about that on here, where I feel like bands throw their kind of longer ballady experimental song at the end. It's like, well, if you guys don't believe in it that much, then what the fuck is at the end of the album then?
There's one at the end of the album, which is with Dirt from the
Yeah,
Grave.
it actually hits pretty hard.
It's a proper kind of like modern Machine Head style riff.
Yeah.
Like a real technical, you hear the pinch harmonics and natural harmonics stuff going through it. It is fucking belter. What else do I have in there? A few more things to my point. I think it's perfectly balanced. All the levels are all good.
Oh yeah, it's recorded.
You can hear everything really well.
Yeah, very well produced.
And the transitions, I know you said that there wasn't enough to capture you, but I thought the transitions through the songs worked really well, including the softer one. I thought the way they brought it in really worked.
Yeah, it's weird because I completely agree with you, and I just don't know why it wasn't
It just
capturing
bounced off
enough.
you. It happens sometimes. We've listened to like I said about the Benediction stuff. Like you listen to it, that's an album that
it's a good album,
and it's a good album. It's not the Benediction are bad, but it just.
Yeah. And it was very well
bounced
written.
off us a bit, didn't it? And it just felt like,
Yeah, it was very well written, and the way that they kept the songs interesting were really good. Like the sections and
the
transitions into the sections were all very well thought out.
Yeah, but also doesn't feel like it was what's the word? Kind of they didn't stick to a certain structure like in every song.
No,
they kind of did stuff.
I thought there was enough difference between most of the songs on the album for sure. Like I thought there was a lot of difference between a lot of them that definitely kept me engaged in
a lot of difference, but enough synergy as well. That
exactly.
Like a full album.
Totally agree.
So for me, it's funny because you have actually mentioned them very slightly, and obviously you guys have mentioned some other bands. But for me, you already mentioned them. I think this is Killswitch Engage from.
There's definitely Killswitch influence.
No, I mean for me personally, I actually went back and listened to some Killswitch Engage, and I don't think for me personally, I didn't feel like his vocals were so Randy Blythe. I thought they were
Jesse Leach.
Yeah, the guy who did they did the Holy Diver cover. Yeah, like especially his choral vocals were very and for me, and I don't mean this in a bad way by the way at all because I like Killswitch Engage. But I thought this was like really that era of like it for me. I was like, it's going to sound like I'm damning with faint praise. I felt like I was listening to a Killswitch Engage album. It's a Malevolence album. They've got their own thing. They've got more of the hardcore elements in there, all of that kind of stuff. But like that was the energy that kind of brought to it, and I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. As I already said, I kind of do agree with Jen. The ballad song kind of lost me a little bit. Like I was a bit like I'm not sure about this. But you're absolutely right, like, from the word go, Blood of the Leech, straight into trenches, blah, blah, blah. Funny enough, for me, my favourite song is actually Imperfect, ... Imperfect Picture, because it has, if you go back and listen to this song, obviously if you listen to this, you put the song, it has this vile fucking starting riff that just like leads in and both guitars start doing, and I was like, oh. Like, what's this?
I want to do a stank face.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the mark of an album, especially a song that's gotten me. Is if I'm walking along with my headphones on, and this is just for the viewers of this on YouTube, just me going like that. I'm like that's a stank face.
I don't think you even need to view it. I think you can.
Yeah, you listeners have done stank face of riffs that you like as well. And so weirdly enough, for me, Imperfect Picture is probably my favourite song off the entire album.
Yeah.
But I liked the whole thing, like all the way through. Malevolence is a band that sadly I still actually haven't seen.
We missed them.
I know we were recording,
ago?
but also that was so weird. They announced it as such a last minute thing, them playing the Exchange. But they'll be back around. It's great. It's a success story for British metal. I think
I wouldn't be surprised if we see them Bloodstock next year.
I mean, anywhere. Like they're already, the Secret Set download, the big crowd. Like these guys are going to be. I think these guys are the new. Obviously to compare them back to the band that I feel like are pulling a lot for their newer stuff. This could be the UK's Killswitch Engage. In many ways. I will say this as someone who's been a fan of them for a while and has listened to a lot of their older stuff. obviously I like Imperfect Picture, I like Blood of the Leech, and there's tracks on here that are going to go into rotation for me. I still kind of prefer a few of the older songs. Like,
really?
I think like Walking on Broken Glass and fucking Keep Your Distance are just like, those are the banger songs that you're just like, you're gonna want to hear in the set. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, this album's got some bangers on it as well. Maybe some of them, like I said, Imperfect Picture isn't even a single one. It's an album cut, and it's gotten my attention. You know, so yeah, like I just. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like, and I couldn't even name which songs I would say this about. Maybe there's some fat that could be trimmed in this album. I say that, and then I can't name a song
where you get rid
from
of
the
it,
track list that I say, but it's almost like there's a feeling of like maybe it could have been trimmed down a little bit.
Funnily enough, I think the fact they kept it in 40 minutes with 11 songs...
I mean, it is still, to be fair, it is still only 40 minutes long. It's not like this album's like a fucking hour and a half and it's like, okay, well, this is a filler track.
God, do you know what? To me, it felt like an hour and a half.
Oh.
It sounds horrible, doesn't it? I don't mean it in a mean way, but yeah, I just struggled with it.
It's interesting, the different vibes. It's good, and that's why we're doing honest reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, what makes one of us tick the other one kind of going,
It's fair. So no, I mean, so we've all got very different. I'm very intrigued. Let's start with you, Tom. What's your rating out of 11 and your live and mosh rating for this?
I would say 9.5, 10. Ooh. I absolutely love this album. It's absolutely
Is that the highest? No.
Blood
when we were only doing 10 out of 10, it's still Blood Incantation. That was such a good album.
I'm putting this on my reminder list for album of the year.
Okay.
Like, it is, I just got on so well with it.
You might be hearing about this again in December then.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I haven't had... I love, like, when you listen to something and it just gives you that feeling of, my God.
Right.
And I had that with this. And I said Salt Wound, like, even just saying it, I'm like,
you want to see them live, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Would I go see him live? 100%. Yeah. I'm pissed that I missed him in Bristol.
Now you're like shit.
Yeah, I want to go somewhere to see him.
I hate it. I feel bad that I didn't talk about them more. Or I haven't talked to them more about you in the past, because of course now I'm like, they're going, of course Tom would love Malevolence. Why haven't I talked to Tom about Malevolence before? Like, he would definitely love this band as someone who's been listening to them for a while. So I definitely
want to go see him live. Would I move them? I mean, absolutely. I think it'd be hard not to.
I mean, especially if we're in like a festival crowd and we were kind of in there. Like,
I would even say I'd be probably crowd surfing.
Yeah.
So,
Tom's going up in the crowd.
Yeah, which is strange to me because I'm 6'1" and 15 stone. So there's not often that I get thrown into the crowd.
It's alright. I've seen bigger people than you going over people's heads.
Jen, your ratings?
I don't know.
Be honest, Jen, it's okay. Don't worry.
I know, but I don't mean to sound harsh because it was a good album. I've just struggled with it.
I mean, that's fair too, though.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
fine.
honest. I'm gonna give it a 5. It was. It's not a bad album by any means.
Yeah.
I just struggled with it as an album. From that perspective, if they were at a festival, I would go and watch their set. However, on that same note, I do think that if I went to see them live, I would enjoy them a lot more than just listening to an album.
Yeah.
I haven't put anything into my regular rotation. I won't be mad if it comes on.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what you thought about their older stuff. I might try and play you some of their older singles.
Have to go back
see how
and
it
listen
goes.
to some
And I
of
think
those.
you're absolutely right. It might be one of those bands that once you see them live and you kind of see that energy, you'd be like, oh, like, you know.
I've got
quite
a lot of fans like that. Like, one of my main ones for that actually is Decapitated. Right. If you play Decapitated to me, I am bored. If I go to see Decapitated, I am having the best time of my life.
Decapitated live are insane.
Yeah, they
Decapitated
are.
live
They're so good live.
But yeah, it comes on shuffle and I'm like, enough.
It is a bit of a weird backhanded one, isn't it, when you say it to bands, it's like, you know, your studio stuff isn't the best, but your live shows are amazing. We fucking love you. But because it's like, no, you are brilliant. Like, we think you're amazing musicians and all this kind of stuff. But also like, you're recording.
Yeah. It's taking the wallop out of it, I guess.
I think maybe part of it is because I've been just trying to focus on an entire album. Perhaps if I focused on song by song, I might have a bit of a different perspective.
I mean, that's definitely, obviously I'm going to give my rating in a bit, but like, I'll be real. Really, there's probably like 3 songs from this album that are probably maybe going to go not even into full rotation, but like, do you know what I mean? I kind of understand, like, as in a weird way, as someone who's been listening to them for quite a few years now, for me, like I said, there's some of their older stuff I will go back to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd fully go back to this album. If you gave me the choice of which Malevolence album to go back to, it might not be this one. I'd listen to some of the singles off it, and I'd listen to like there's like 3 or 4 songs that I'd definitely listen to. But
you wouldn't go back to the full
album. If you gave me the choice, I'm not sure I'd come back to this album. I might come back to one of their older ones.
Fair.
And so,
so where would you rate it?
It's an 8 out of 11.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's solid. I still really like it. I love a bouncy, nasty riff. Obviously,
stank face.
Yeah, stank face. I love the vocal performances. They went a little bit 5-finger death punchy sometimes, but that's fine. But like I said, it did, and I, once again, don't mean this in a bad way. It's not me damning with faint praise, but like it did give me big Kill Switch Engage vibes, and that's not bad. I actually like that, and it was nice to just have some like just straight up nasty, bouncy metalcore that I could get behind and go like, yeah, fuck yeah, yeah, blood of the leeches,
yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah,
would you go see it live?
100%. Yeah.
As Dim as a headliner,
wanted to
just
see
festival.
Malevolence live for a while.
Cool.
I've missed them twice. Oh no, 3 times now with the show that we just missed here in Bristol.
Yeah, they played Cardiff not too long ago, about a year ago.
Yeah.
I reckon. Yeah.
I missed them. They were supporting someone that I kind of didn't care about, and I was like, I want to see Malevolence, but I don't want to see the main band.
Whereas now they're going to be the main band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like once again, I'm kind of not worried about not seeing them yet because I know I will see them.
They'll be on the scene for a while.
They're going to be around, and I'm really happy for it. I mean, it is nice. Obviously, it's nice to see a UK band that's worked hard and is doing well, and it's kind of reaping the rewards for what they've done. From what I've seen,
they've literally grinded through it all, and coming out the other side.
From what I've seen, obviously, kind of as people, they seem pretty sound. A lot of the new stuff. I read some stuff where a lot of it is actually about them losing friends through
it's actual life experience,
trigger warning, suicide and stuff, and that kind of, like there's some pretty actually dig into some of the lyrics. They're pretty heartbreaking about losing people, and I'm not sure where things are going.
That adds to the emotion in it. I think it's real life experiences.
I think it's good. I'm glad to see them doing well. I'm really looking forward to seeing them live.
Me too.
Yeah.
And obviously you would throw Shapes because I don't think you couldn't.
Let's do it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Put my back out.
Right. Any closing thoughts? We there?
No, I think that's it.
Ooh. Well then, as always,
thank you, David.
Thank you.
Black City Metal Review!
Yeah, that was an excellent one. And it only came out about 3 days before we asked you for it as well. So.
I feel like, I know it's bad because obviously a lot of the albums we review are new albums, but I feel like this is probably one of the most modern albums we've reviewed on the podcast, if that makes sense. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Black City, you rule. Thank you, John, for letting us do this in Griffin. Best bar in Bristol.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Theo and Jen.
Thank you, Tom.
I believe
in Tom Falvey.
I love it. That should be our new outro. It's good, right? Everyone, if you're enjoying us, give us a like, give us a follow, do all the usual social media things.
All over the place.
And any feedback, comments, we'd love to hear from you, especially if Bristol based. Check us out. Hit us up. We'll have you on.
Please get a hold of us. If you've got EPs to listen to or tracks to listen to,
we're
going to be. I think we're looking at planning maybe adding a bit more of that into the podcast as well about like reviewing local bands.
Yeah. So if you have an EP out, an LP out, you're Bristol based, hit us up, and we'll see you in the pits.
Yeah. See you.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.